Yeah, it was
Yeah,
rough, but I think it made me stronger. Many people say that, but I think it did.
absolutely.
And when I moved out, I told myself I'd never drink again. I would never ever
Mm.
drink. And then what happened? 21 hit. I went to a party. A buddy of mine said, "Hey, just have a shot," and that shot just turned into 14 years of alcoholism.
Wow.
And next thing I knew, I'm 35, and I wake up and I go, "Shit."
One, two, three, four.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 135 of the On the Runs podcast. It was an unseasonably warm weekend, as many of us have been glued to our Twitch streams watching the Great World Race and seeing Bex and Justin and Ashley and so many other amazing people. I am fully recovered from the Manchester City Marathon, but unfortunately, my amazing rock star of a co-host, six-star Erica, is wildly under the weather. So what am I to do? Why not bring up a rising star on the pod? She might not have 6 stars, but she has 2. I'm wicked excited to have Tara Pterodactyl sub in today on the pod. Tara, what's up? Thanks for coming in and off the bench.
Hey, happy to be here as always.
I'm super excited you're here because you and I have just been like, I've talked to you more in the last week than I have Erica because we've been glued to our phones this entire week.
Yeah, it's been the 777 has just been unreal. It's so cool what's happening.
God, and I'm like, it's just the stream. The stream is so good. It's unreal. Let's talk about that in a second. But how are you? What's new? I actually saw you last night.
Yeah, I know, that's right. I was going to say, man, I haven't seen you in like 12 hours. It's been brutal. Things are good. I am coming off of, a couple half marathons and ultra, taking a break from running for a little bit, kind of get my body back together and, just having fun, playing some golf with this nice weather.
Still playing golf. Are you trying to like squeeze it all in before the snow?
Yeah, so Derryfield closes December 1st, but there's some other courses that stay open until there's like legit snow on the ground. So I got maybe like a month left. So trying to get it all in.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's like the latest into the year or the winter that you actually have golfed here in New England?
So I have played the last 2 New Year's Eves played golf at Candia Woods. They've been open. They stayed open until January 1st last year. And my boyfriend, Matt Ken, and I have played on New Year's Eve the last 2 years. We had a hammer in the golf bag to get the golf tee in the ground because the ground was a little solid, but it was no snow on the ground. So that was kind of interesting.
That's so cool. Yeah. And you're a golf coach. So is golf coaching season over or are you still in the thick of it?
No, we're still going. We're in what they call the off season. So the NCAA only allows us to do 8 hours a week. But I just kind of have the girls with daylight savings. As you know, it gets dark at like noon. I have the girls go on their own time and practice, because I'm like, I work a full-time job till 4:00. So by the time I get out, it's already dark. So they're doing their own thing, going to the driving range, hitting balls. We have a simulator on campus, so they're still playing. So we'll play all year round.
What are some of the off-season or non-golf like strength training activities you have your team do? Are you like you making them go to the gym and hit the weights, or are they doing like cardio work? I don't know. Does golf really require much cardio?
Yeah, so they don't do cardio, but we have a trainer. So they work out with the strength and conditioning coach at St. Anselm, and they lift for an hour 2 days a week. So I have them lifting Tuesdays and Thursdays. They do a bunch of core stuff, lower body. But they love it. It's funny because they'll come to practice and they're like, "Oh, coach, I'm so sore." Some of the girls, like, they've never been in a gym before. So, and I'm like a big advocate of weightlifting and stuff. So I think it's great for them, kind of help them as they grow older too, because they'll be able to do that for after they graduate too.
Well, it's cool because like you've continued to golf past college. You're even like, are you an amateur state champion? Are you a pro state champion? What is your official state champion title that you I don't know if you are currently, but at least one day you were?
Yeah, I won the state AM 2 times. I've won the mid AM 3 times. I'm like the 9-time reigning Derryfield Club champion.
Not a big deal.
It's okay. Google me, as I say. Tara Watt, Google me.
You'll have to spell it correctly, not the on the runs Tara way, P-T-A-R-A. Right. You have to do it T-A-R-A.
I told somebody the other day, I was like, yeah, it's Tara with a P. And they were like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I was like, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
Well, it's been cool because you've been seen on the course and stuff running at time to time, and people will yell, pterodactyl.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, I need something. I need some I got to get some gear. Like I might make a t-shirt or something, find somebody on Etsy. I need something.
Yeah, it's like your own thing too, because they're yelling for you. It's like Erica knows they're yelling for her when they go 6-star Erica. I don't know they're yelling for me when they go Eric.
Right.
Speaking of that, did you see the New York City Marathon? This guy wrote, I think a group of guys, but they all cheered for a guy named John. And they had a sign that said John, like big letters, and they tracked everyone on their phone app whose name was John. So they knew when a John was coming up, and they'd be like, John, let's go, John. And then the guy would be like, who the heck? Yeah, let's go.
Yes, that was awesome. I mean, how many, I don't even know how many Johns were running the New York City Marathon, but it had to have been over 1,000.
God, so many Johns.
Yeah, that's great. What a great idea.
You could go in many different directions with the John.
Yeah. I know. It's kind of like when I ran Boston, I put my name on the front of my singlet in big letters, and people were yelling my name, and I'm like, oh my, I'm like, do I know them? And it took me like literally 3 miles I was like, oh my God, my name is on my shirt. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yep.
Speaking of running marathons, and maybe not ones that have the crowds of like the New York City Marathon or the Boston Marathon, but there is a race going on right now called the Great World Race. And I have been, as we said earlier, glued to our phones. This kind of happened last minute, but we found out we're going to get to not track the races, but watch a live stream on Twitch for the Great World Race. And this guy, apparently he found out like days before too, he was going to do it. He's traveling the world 7 days, 7 continents, streaming 7 marathons. And it has been just amazing. Over 1,000 people on almost every stream. Everyone, most of the people there are there for our PodFam, Justin Spencer and Bex Gentry, and so many others out there cheering for Ashley. And we're going to talk about all the athletes, but this has been maybe in the 130 plus episodes of the pod, the most interested I have been in a single event. It's a 7-day event, but a single event. Like I am addicted to this. It is insane.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's like I find myself, so I didn't know what Twitch was, honestly, before this all started. And I was like, how do I track this? Like I need more than just Instagram, because there was no like, you know, when somebody runs New York City, you download the app and you can literally follow them through the whole course. This does not have that. So I was like, okay, so I had to figure out Twitch, had to download another app, and then I was on it. And then it's like, okay, send me the notification when they go live. And like the first race, when did the first race start? Was it 2 a.m, which was like, I was pumped.
Was it 2 a.m?
It was super early because I remember
the second race. It was the second race.
Was it the second race? Okay.
Because the first was Antarctica, but I remember going to bed. Maybe it was 2 a.m, but I remember the night before everything got moved, shifted 24 hours early because the weather in Antarctica was terrible, or they knew it was going to be bad. So you have to plan it around. Antarctica has to be the first race, right? Get the best weather day for Antarctica. I turned on the live stream laying in bed at like 10 p.m. They're all like in the hotel lobby, boarding the bus, traveling to the airport. And I was so just like, it was like binge watching a show. I couldn't turn it off. And this guy's talking to people, the athletes. He's on the bus. He's one seat behind Bex Gentry. And the best part is someone in the chat goes, hey, say hi to Bex Gentry. He goes, who's Bex Gentry? And she goes, that's me. And so they're all getting to know each other, or at least Ben with the live stream and the phone. He doesn't know who any of these people are. He's reading the stream. Dude, Ben, kudos to you for he's reading the comments and he is doing everything we've asked him to do. And we'll get more into that in a little bit, but he didn't even know who Bex was. He goes, who or where is Bex Gentry? I'm right here. And then he answers the phone. She talks to the live stream. It's been, all the athletes have been into it too. Like they are giving this whole entire event, not just the races, but the content portion of it, 110% of their attention.
Yeah, it's great because some of these courses too are like loops. So Ben will hand the phone to an athlete and he'll say, all right, take it, and then give it back to me. So they'll be running with the phone and talking to all the fans, and the fans are chatting. And, you know, it's just so cool because it's like, you know, like you said, there's a couple people that have a much larger following than others. They're more well known. So they're kind of cluttering up the feed, but he'll give the phone to that person. And then everyone's like, oh, okay, there they are. Like, we want to know how our person's doing. So we kind of feel like we're there.
Yes. Oh, I'm so there. And I feel like they're talking to me and you, and it's so cool. So the first race was Antarctica, and that, honestly, that's my favorite one so far. This guy, Ben, brought, what do you call that internet dish thing? What's Starlink?
Starlink, yeah.
He brought a Starlink to Antarctica, and we got to live stream the marathon from Antarctica. That was so cool. I want to go. I want to do this just purely to go to Antarctica now. Like, the videos, the pictures I saw of them running, it looked beautiful. It looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And honestly, it kind of reminded me of a couple of my training runs when I was training for Boston here in New Hampshire. But like they're literally running on hard packed snow. And I think it was -15
Celsius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, which is, let's do the Google machine.
I'm not good with that. Yeah.
-15 Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's 5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. So that's kind of warm.
It looked warm. It looked sunny. It looked really sunny. It's, what's weird to me, just like messes with my mind though. We're here in New Hampshire. They're upside down.
Yeah, it's wild. It's just, the whole thing to me is just wild. And it's like the time zones and the travel, it's insane. Like if someone told me that they were like, hey, I'm going to sponsor you, I'm going to pay what is it, $60,000? I think it was like 49.
Justin offered me $5,000 to sponsor me. $5,000. I think in my mind, I need $100,000. So I need another $95,000 and I can do this because it's $60 to do the race, but you need thousands and thousands more to fly out there early, get a place, obviously fly back, food and everything. I'm thinking and like coaching wise and everything, like months before prep, and I need to take time off of work to train for this. $100,000, I can do it. So I got $5,000. Actually, I have $6,000. I had someone else offer to give me $1,000 to do it. Jay Parent, thank you, my man.
Okay.
So I need $94,000 more, and I could do this race one day.
You're so close. I mean, you should just put it on a calendar for next year. I think that was a verbal commitment, I think.
Lock it in. If someone gave me that opportunity, that's an opportunity you have to take.
I will be completely honest with you. I would never do that. I love running, but I don't think I don't
believe you.
Do it.
I don't believe you. You would do the half marathon.
Oh, I do the halves. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You won't turn down the opportunity to go to 7 continents in 7 days. You know what I do? What I do think I would miss out on was like, let's go to Perth now. You start in Antarctica. They come back for Cape Town. We won't skip Cape Town. But then you go to Perth and you just land, you run, then you get back on the airplane. So you don't really get to see where you're going. You only see it from the air. I would love that challenge of like of testing the limits, but you don't get to see Perth, Australia, because they ran it at night, and you don't get to see part of Instable because they're running it at night. So you're basically marathon and go.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is the travel piece. I just don't think my body, like if you were to tell me I had to do 7 marathons in 7 days from out of my front door, I could possibly do that because I'm sleeping in my bed at night. I'm eating all my food. I get all my stuff. But these guys are literally, they have rows of airplanes that they're sleeping over. Like they're sleeping on airplanes or they're not sleeping at all.
The airplane looks amazing too.
It does. It looks so cool. But it's so outside of like your normal race, routine that it's just, I don't know if I would be able to adapt to that. And I just feel like I would be so run down. And it's a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing on Instagram, because I started following probably half of these people because a lot of these people that are running this have a story and it's inspiring. And it's just like, I'm following them on Instagram. And there was one guy, the guy from Boston or Massachusetts, and he had his watch. He had 5 slides of his Garmin, and it was like, you need to rest. Your body battery is 0. Inadequate sleep. And he's like, not today, Garmin. But,
that was Bill Murphy. A quick note about Bill Murphy is, one, he's running for Make-A-Wish. His initial goal was to raise $50,000, and he's almost at $100K. But The coolest part about that is when I've been looking up these athletes and I've been following them. When I found Bill, he already followed us.
Ooh, big
Yes.
time.
Yeah, that
That's
was cool.
awesome.
That
yeah.
was cool.
He's probably over 100,000 now because that
I
was
think-
like
you know, I
earlier
think-
during the day.
Yeah, I think Ben said that because I had in my notes what he was going for, but I think Ben said that actually
Yeah,
on
it's
the
just
live stream.
the more coverage that this is getting, the more, because in the beginning, the live stream, it was just Ben, and now they're fundraising for longevity, and they've raised money for that, and so it's just every day, like something keeps progressing, and like it's just so cool to see how how much awareness this is bringing to different charities and stuff, and the people that are out there are just so inspiring. It's so cool.
Well, the longevity part of it is I think they already were sponsoring the race because on the, what do you call the arch? Like longevity's on that as a sponsor.
Yeah.
But the whole Twitch thing, let's go back to that. They didn't know they were doing this until a few days ahead. And I'm like thinking, how did this come to be? Because all of a sudden it's like, we're going to live stream this. But the live stream, the Twitch page wasn't even an official page yet. And it took them like 48, 72 hours to become official. That's when all the ads started, right? And Twitch was like, oh my God, let's make them official because they have thousands in the stream. And then at that point, they're allowed to, or they're at least able to put longevity in there. 2 people are running this race for longevity. They have 1 lung.
Yeah, that to me is just it's unreal. I think one of the guys, I think his name is Greg, he's an older gentleman, and that he actually, I saw him today on the live feed, and he was being interviewed by Ben, and they took a chunk of his thigh and like put it into his chest cavity, and he showed us like both of his legs, and one of his legs is significantly smaller, his thigh, and then he like pulled his shirt up and he has like a massive scar right here, and it's just like it's like stuff like that, it's like what goes back to what Justin, because I can, and it's like there's so many people out there just doing amazing things with these, like 1 lung, like I got 2 lungs and I'm over here like, oh, I couldn't do it.
You're like, I can barely do 18 holes.
Right, I'm winded walking up the stairs.
So it was the second race in Cape Town. They go to Antarctica. They do the Antarctica Marathon. It looked amazing. It was the Cape Town one that started at like 3 a.m. the next day. And that's prime you time. I think you watched the entire live stream of the Cape Town Marathon.
Yeah, I was like locked in. I was like, this is great. I woke up. I saw the gun go off. They were like dancing at the start line. It was so cool. I was like obviously multitasking because I got carried away. I just, like, even today, I had my phone sitting on next to my Stanley and I had the thing going and I'm over here working and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to do this, trying to work. But it just like, you just get so into it. But it was cool.
Well, the first day in Antarctica, I was at work watching on my computer screen the entire time, the live stream. I was like making clips and stuff. The second, like I couldn't do the 2 a.m, 3 a.m one. I was definitely sleeping. I think I caught the very end and like maybe just caught the end of Justin's finish. He ran like 20 of those miles with his wife, Quinn. She flew out to Cape Town early to spend some time with him. The coolest part about that race, though, that I missed, but this is why I love social media, because I get to see these moments, and that's exactly what it is. This was a moment, and this was an iconic moment, but you had 5 ladies all crossing the finish line together. Our PodFam, Bex Gentry and Ashley Paulson, and then 3 other amazing girls. They all crossed the finish line at the same time. Jenny Simpson, Corrine Nugent, and Hillary Capiche?
Capiche.
Capiche.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm so sorry, ladies, on the pronunciation, but you're all welcome on the pod, and I'll get it right when that happens.
Yes. Yeah, I've never heard of Corrine and Hillary, but obviously Jenny Simpson is an Olympian.
Yes.
So, but that was so cool. They were all holding hands and they crossed all together, and you see in the results they were 305, 305, 305. So,
and they've kind of become like the Fab Five, as I think they're calling it, the Fab Five. And it's going to be a thing. Corrine, by the way, is also an Olympian. She's an Olympian skier.
Oh,
I think from Lebanon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's definitely from Lebanon. Oh, that's so cool.
That was an amazing moment. And I'm so excited that so here's my favorite. I have so many favorite parts. But Bex and Ashley are like totally cool and getting along. They're seatmates, they're roommates. Last night was Ashley Paulson's 25th wedding anniversary. And Maddie is there. cheering her on and everything. She still roomed with Bex for the night, which was hilarious. She roomed with Bex on her 24th anniversary in Istanbul, Turkey, and that was wild. But after Cape Town, they flew overnight to Perth. That was the first in the dark marathon. Am I right to say that was in the dark, right?
Yeah, I believe that was all at night. They had headlamps and stuff.
What I loved about Perth, and I got to watch the Perth live stream like for hours and hours worth. They were in like this room, like this community room, and they would go in there before the race and then after, and they had it looked so cool. It reminded me of like ski club, and we all just like take over the lodge, the ski lodge, all the bags and everyone has like their own section of the wall or the corner. Even the camera guy, the streamer, the guys doing the documentary on this, they just basically took over this room. So this is how I'm seeing it, and I love this. They get off the airplane, they carry all their bags, they drop it off in the room, they get dressed, they go run a marathon, they go back in this room and eat all the pizza and all the food and have all the beer. And then they just pack up and they leave. And so Ben is showing you this room at points and it's just chaos. And then all of a sudden it's empty and they're all on the plane. And that's what I loved. It's just like show up and go and leave. It's wild.
Yeah, I bet they're going to be like happy that it's over, but they're going to be sad too. It's like summer camp.
Well, they're all like, exactly. They were complete strangers days ago. And they're all the best friends. Summer camp is the best way to describe that. It's summer camp. And it's like memories for life. Like you thank God for social media. Like they can now stay in touch. The Fab Five can stay in touch. Everyone can stay in touch with Justin. I promise you, none of these people knew who Justin Spencer was before this. Maybe like a few of the locals, but none.
Yeah, no,
I think Bex was shocked. Not shocked, but Bex and Justin, I hear, like Justin said, they've gone back and forth on who's the most popular on the stream. It's clearly Justin. And I think Bex was a little like, oh my God, who's this guy? He has so many fans. And then Bex is clearly number 2. She's just like, it blows up. Whenever Bex is there, it blows up. And whenever Bex isn't there, it's all Justin, even when he's not there. It's all Justin. Where's Justin? Where's 37? Where's 37?
Yeah, it's definitely those two for sure. And that's a huge part is that recycled percussion, his fan following. I've been looking at, Facebook and Instagram, but they're really big on Facebook. And he's got over 8,000 likes on, he'll post a post that he did this morning. And there's over, 2,000 comments of people just cheering him on and people logging into Twitch just to, cheer for Justin. So
well, when the Twitch number goes down to like 200 people, you can pretty much guarantee you go to Facebook, Justin's currently doing a live.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. They all bounce off the Twitch and then they go back to the Twitch right after. Where's Justin? Show us Justin. Justin's a great sport, and I'll tell him this when he comes back on. Every time Ben has brought that camera to him, and Ben's going to come on the pod. He said he'll come on and we'll talk all about the streaming. But every time Ben is in the area and he kind of gives Justin a look and he's like, okay. Because he's struggling right now. He's not doing so good. He's not eating. He's puking and everything. He's hurting. He's like, okay, you can come talk to me. I know the people there want to talk to me. I don't want to be, shoo you away. Justin's a good sport. He's freaking amazing for that.
Yeah. It's like, you're a professional athlete and you're the star of the game, but you just lost the game with a turnover. You still have to go to the news conference. And that's what Justin's doing. He's definitely a trooper out there. I give him so many props after what he went through yesterday. So yesterday's marathon, he only made it 8 miles and had extreme dehydration. And he said he had some type of stomach bug or something. He didn't eat anything for 30 hours and he powered through 26.2 today.
He also said he threw up on the airplane and it was his first time in like 20 plus years throwing up.
Yeah. Which is insane.
Right. I know he doesn't drink, but like sometimes you still get food poisoning or sick. So that's a big streak. 28 years. Wow.
Yeah. I think he got sick after today's race too.
Yeah. Not surprised. I don't think he's had much food either. So today is Monday night. They've done 5 races. So they did the Antarctica, Cape Town, Perth, Australia, and then Istanbul, Asia, and then Istanbul, Europe.
Yes. That was pretty cool. I didn't know that there's actually, I think 2. Wait, I'm going to say this wrong. So that's 2 countries, but they're in the same place because of.
Are they?
Right. 2 continents.
2 continents in the same place.
In the same place because of like, it'd be like a town line.
Right. Right.
Manchester
They just
to Bedford.
crossed the river. They just had to cross the river.
But I guess there's one other place where it's like that. I don't know. Somebody, because this was a question, but I can look that up. But that's pretty cool because then that's less travel time for them, which is nice. So they don't have to get on a plane and sit on the plane for 12
That's right.
hours.
They actually spent the night in a hotel.
Yeah. So, but I think
tonight,
isn't tonight 18 hours?
Yeah, they're going to South America. I think Colombia, right? Somewhere in Colombia.
Yeah, I think
and then
so.
a quick flight to Miami. So the next race is going to start when you wake up. When you guys wake up and are listening to this at 7 a.m., it'll probably be a little delayed because every race has been a little delayed, but call it 7 a.m. Tuesday morning, and then Miami on Wednesday morning, and that will be the last one. So Justin has completed 4 marathons. He couldn't do the fourth, but he was able to complete the 5th. Let me ask you this, Pterodactyl. Of the whole entire thing so far, what has been, I'm putting you on the spot, but what has been your favorite moment? Outside, because we already talked about the Fab Five crossing the finish line at the same time.
I know, I do love that. I actually have to give a shout out to Bex with an X.
Yeah.
So she is the firefighter. She's wearing full gear, including the oxygen tank. So she's run every single marathon in full firefighter gear, not the helmet, but the oxygen tank. And she is pretty badass. So I love that for her. And they were talking about when they come to Miami that they're going to try to get a slew of firefighters there at the finish line to celebrate her. So I hope they make that happen.
I even think, were they trying to get some to run the marathon with her?
I think so, yeah. Because that's like one thing they don't really care about. You can crew, like there was one guy that was having major leg cramps and his coach ran a lap with him today and stuff. So, and again, like you said, Quinn ran with Justin. So
I don't think it's not like the Boston Marathon where they don't want you running without a bib. It's like they're doing these almost like just in public rail trails, essentially.
Say,
like river rocks and all that. Like the Instable Asia one was a 1 kilometer back and forth river walk. It was supposed to be like 6 kilometers, but they had to shorten it because of lighting. It seems like a lot of challenges as far as like the course is going. That course in Instable looked like you could seriously get hurt there. It was wet. It was potholes. There was dips and rises on the sidewalk. Basically, they're running on like a ungroomed sidewalk.
Yeah, it was a little wild. And I think, so the girl that I sent you today from Minnesota, her name is escaping my mind.
Ellen?
Yes, Ellen. So I started following her on Instagram and she said that she had a run-in with a scooter. So they are literally sharing these rail trails with pedestrians. And they're not getting out of their way. So they're kind of having to, work their way around it.
Yeah.
And I think
it's not a closed course. That's what I'm getting. I guess it's not a closed course. I think the only one that was technically a closed course was Antarctica.
There might have been a couple polar bears out there.
Definitely penguins.
Yeah, penguins. So was it Istanbul? Was that the one where the cops came and they had to? They asked Ben to turn his camera off.
Yes.
Because he was facing the Turkish government
embassy.
The embassy, and
it wasn't the Turkish one because it was in Turkey, but it was like another, like the Dutch or something embassy.
It was something across the river, and they were like, "You can't film this way. You can't." And they were like, "Okay, hold on, guys, we got to shut the stream off."
Well,
and
they
I was
didn't.
like, "Oh my god, what's happening?"
I'm so happy they didn't shut it off because I was like trying to listen, and it was It was like when the cops showed up to your house during Cultura. What's going on? Why are the cops there? And it was so like you're just there in the moment. It was so real.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, stuff like that. Like that would never happen here in the US. Like nobody's going to come over and tell you to shut your camera off because you're filming the state capital of, Concord. But it was like, they were like, no, you can't film this. And it was like, oh gosh. So he had to move the camera a different way. And
yeah. I wonder what kind of permits and stuff they have to get for this, because like we said, there was a guy with a hot dog stand just like, what's going on in front of my hot dog stand?
Right. And there was one, I forget which one, but they it was, the streaming was cutting in and out. And it was funny because people were commenting and they were like, funny how they had better service in Antarctica.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Because it was really good in Antarctica.
Yeah.
But was it Perth that wasn't doing good?
I think it was Perth, yeah, because he was like, I don't know what's going on, guys, and he's like, I gotta, I'll be right back, and it was like cutting in and out, and I had to keep I thought it was me, and I'm like, I log in and out, and I'm like, oh man, but it was funny. So
it was cool. It was so. Oh, it's been so cool.
But real quick, shout out to Ben's company,
TDLR,
TLDR.
TLDR.
TLDR. Do you know what it stands for?
Clip that. TLDR. Clip that, baby.
Clip that.
No, what's it stand for?
Too long. Didn't read.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I learned that today on the feed.
So Ben is doing the live stream. He's doing an amazing job, and that's his company that's not even live yet. Like, I think it was December 4th. They're live, and it's a streaming platform company that he's building, and he's kind of, him and his buddy are sponsoring and putting this stream on for all of us. So thank you so much, Ben, for doing that. Like, I'm so appreciative. Like,
yeah, I just went to go look at his Instagram because remember he had like 1 follower.
Yeah,
he's up to 221.
Yeah, that was his company's one. I actually follow him now too, and I got to shoot that DM. I'm so excited to talk to him, just get like his thoughts and views on this whole thing, because I don't even think he's a runner. I don't think he knew this was a thing until the other week.
No, he is not a runner, because he made a comment today because someone was like, "You should do this," and he like laughed, and he's like, "I got a pair of $60 Nikes on." He's like, "I should probably upgrade these bad boys." But that was another funny thing today. When I was watching this morning, he's like, "Guys, I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to sit down and eat something." And he had like the camera on him, and he had a Greek yogurt in front of him, and he grabbed it and he took a bite, and he was like, his facial expressions were like priceless, and he put it down, and they were like, "Not good." And he's like, "That was terrible." It's like, "That was so bad." And they're like, he's like, "It was just yogurt, but with like no sour and no sugar." Disgusting.
Oh, man.
He goes, "I wouldn't even offer you guys some of this." But I'm like, can you imagine being in other countries and trying to find foods that,
that's the hard thing for me with all this travel. It's the food. Yeah.
Yeah. So. You would definitely need 100,000 for this, because you'd have to bring all your cheese-free stuff. You'd need a whole plane for just that.
Yeah.
So I know you asked me this, and you can't use mine or the Fab Five, but what was your favorite moment so far of the 777?
That's easy. That's an easy one for me. So we've been following one of the runners from the first day, Mary Morgan. Never heard of her before, but this is why I love the live chat, and why what I love about Ben is he's reading the live chat, and someone says, "Ben, you need to get Mary Morgan a beer. She drinks a beer at the finish line of every marathon." And it was being part of the live chat. It was like he's on a mission to find a beer, and that's been his goal every race. But the favorite moment was when he handed Mary Morgan the beer in Antarctica. He put the stream on a tripod. He says, "Stand here," and he goes, "We heard a rumor," and she's like, "Oh God." Like, "Oh God, what's going to happen?" And then it's the whole beer thing. She's like, "Yes!" And it's just, it's my favorite moment, because 1, her reaction was so genuine, because 2, Ben went through that effort and took us along the journey, and 3, I felt like I was there. I felt like I was part of that journey, and it was so cool. And now every time it's like, Ben's like, "Okay, Mary has one more lap. We got to go find a beer for her." And he gets a beer and brings her a beer. And I looked her up. It took me a while, because she doesn't spell her name the traditional way a Mary would spell her name. She spells Mary like Merry Christmas. And I love that.
Yeah. So to bridge our 2 favorite moments today, Mary and Bex with an X, they finished together.
Did they really?
Hands, and they both had a beer together.
Really? I missed it. Today's the only day I didn't get to see, because it was over by the time I woke up.
Yeah, it was so cool. They finished together. I don't know how many miles they ran together, but he had them coming in together, and then he's like, "We got to get them." She's like, "Get them both a beer." So they both had a beer at the finish line together, and it was a cool moment.
That's awesome. Let's mention a few other people. We mentioned Bill Murphy earlier, but another guy doing this, and I think he kind of influenced Bex Gentry to do it, or at least she said, like, this is the guy who made me make a bad decision to do this race. That was David Kilgore. And David is sitting really close to Justin Spencer on the airplane. They're almost like seatmates. He's a Red Bull sponsored athlete. What I think is actually kind of cool, though, his girlfriend's from Keene, New Hampshire.
Ooh.
And they were talking
about
about
that.
Yeah, it was just like
cool.
The little things you learn about on the live stream. And you already mentioned Bex running in the gear. Mary Morgan. There's this one guy who, first, his name's Joe. He got the stream. It's like Ben had to go find his bag. "Here, Joe, take the stream." Joe didn't know what to do right away. And he goes, "Hi, guys. It's me, Joe. I don't know what to do." And then he showed Bill Murphy, and that's when I met Bill for the first time. And then eventually he's just like, "I like this. Hey, Tara, tell everyone who you are." Or Merrick, tell everyone why we're late. Merrick is the 18-year-old who lost his passport, by the way.
Oh, That's
and
not
somebody, I guess what he did, this is just what I got from the stream. He like left it at TSA and someone saw and grabbed it for him. And I think maybe they were messing with him. We'll have to get the inside scoop on that.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like looking for it. And it sounds like maybe they knew he was okay. So they let him sweat a little bit.
Oh my gosh, that would be like a top 5 fear.
Losing your passport. Yeah.
Especially on this trip. Like, could
Yeah.
you imagine? You're going to
You don't
7
wanna
different
be the-
continents.
Right. You don't want to be the one responsible for like missing deadlines or getting to races late either. That would be my
Right.
fears. Like, don't be the last one. Don't be the DFL. Don't be the one everyone's waiting on. That would be my fear. And losing something like that would cause that.
Oh, yes.
Then you have one other guy. He has terminal brain cancer. I don't know the details to this, but he is the king of chemo. And it's so cool watching him crush these. It's so many guys. Tariq is one. We've met so many. Thanks to Justin. We can't talk. We've been talking 40 minutes already. We have to get to our guests, but so many amazing people. Let me just tell you this, guys. If you are running in the 777, you have an open invitation to come on the pod, find us, shoot us a DM, or if I find you, I'll let you know. But guys, so cool. Like I can't stop talking about this.
I know, and we still have 2 days left.
Yes, we're going to talk about it next week. And
2
then we're
more
gonna-
continents.
Right. And Justin says if he survives, he's going to come back to tell us all about it. Ben said he's going to come on. I really want to get Bex and Ashley. I want to get the Fab Five. Bill Murphy, you're a local from New England. Come on the pod. The king of chemo, come on the pod. Let's get you all on. Like,
Mary
Morgan, come on the podcast. I want to hear about this and the beer and everything. Oh my God, so cool. But Tara, we do have to get to our guest because you actually have no clue who our guest is.
I do not.
That's right. Usually I get to like preview him or her with Erica and we talk about it. This guy is super cool. His name is Anthony. He's from the LA area. What I love about him is we kind of bounce ideas back and forth off each other. He's really into YouTube where I'm really into podcasting. And I was like, I was so into this. So this was a super cool episode. His name is Anthony Bailey. He's an LA road runner. He has a really amazing story of like a rough upbringing that led to running. You guys are going to love it. He's been through a lot. He was very open sharing his story. Enjoy Anthony Bailey on the On the Runs podcast, and we'll see you on the other side. Our next guest on the pod is a YouTuber out of LA who is running for his best life. He's the owner of Your Best Life Media, the co-founder of Run for Grace. He has a crazy busy schedule, and he's dealt with so much in his life from years of child abuse to one shot that took him down a 14-year road of alcoholism. Now he's very involved in his running community, and we're wicked excited to have him on the pod and hear his story. Anthony Bailey, welcome to the On the Runs podcast, buddy. What's up?
Oh my gosh, you said the word wicked. And I was just talking to my wife about that today. I go, here in Los Angeles, we never use the word wicked, except for like going to the show Wicked.
You can easily tell we're not from around there. we are mostly Boston based.
Yeah, I purposely put those in all my intros now. Like maybe the first 90 episodes, I said it like 9 times. Now I try to say it every time. It's like a staple for us.
Mhm.
We are wicked excited to have you on the podcast.
Oh my
Anthony, I'm super pumped, man. How are you?
I appreciate that. Thank you, Eric. It's like hanging out with friends I've been listening to for a few months now, because now I commute to work and I have to listen to some running podcasts, and you guys came up and now I feel like I know you guys. So yeah, here we are.
You mentioned you found us like because you're now driving to work. Tell me how you found us, because you told me earlier and I was wicked excited to hear like that it worked. The algorithm's working.
I get the idea the word wicked's going to come up a
Oh
lot
yeah,
today.
definitely.
Wait,
but-
for sure.
Yeah. So I, after taking about a 2-year hiatus from work, and I started my own business, Your Best Life Media, decided to go back to work to get more stability in the whole medical benefits thing that families need.
Important.
And so I said, well, I'm going to be commuting again. Let me start diving back into my podcasts. And I searched running, and you guys came up. And I said, oh, what is this? And I like the whole stoolie thing. And I thought it was going to be a little different than when I listened to it. But I'm like, no, it's great. It's like two folks that grew up, met each other in college, and just hanging out, talking to running people. I thought it was awesome. So
That's what we were
Yeah,
going for.
that's it.
I'm so happy you found us and you like us, and I'm very excited that we get to learn more about you.
yeah, the power of SEO, huh?
Mm.
It's working. It's working. Finally, after 100-something episodes, it's working.
Yay.
I mentioned like we've been actually talking to you for months, probably
Mhm.
almost a year. And you've been very difficult to schedule. Not you're difficult, but it's been just difficult. I had to postpone and cancel. Then we scheduled you on a Friday at like 10 p.m. for us because you're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Then Erica had to cancel for some reason, an anniversary. But again, where's the ring?
Yeah.
And your schedule is like you have no free nights during the
None.
week. What are you doing at night?
Well, no, actually, the thing is, when I started the job again, I drove a city bus in Culver City. I drove for Santa Monica for 15 years. Back when I left there, I was at the top of the seniority chain, so I had like the schedule I wanted. But when I quit there and I went to Culver City, now I'm back on the bottom. And in the transit industry, when you start there, you do, they call it part time, but it's actually not part time. You work 6-7 days a week whenever they need you until you get promoted to full time. So they only give me Tuesdays off. So my day is, I pretty much get my schedule day to day right now.
Oh.
And so this is the season of my life for the next, hopefully the next 6 months, and I'll get promoted and get a regular schedule. But thank you for being so patient with me.
Oh, and thank you for being patient with us
Right.
and Erica's anniversaries and everything.
It only
Terrible
happens once a
excuse,
year,
by the
man.
way. I hope you guys did something nice. What did you guys do that day anyway?
Oh, we went to a nice dinner. We went out and we got a little fancy. I mean, I'm not a fancy person at all. I mean, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. Like you can see, I'm kind of like more on the casual side. But we actually got dressed up. We went out for a nice. We went for Thai food. It was delicious. So just spending time together. It was fun. So I appreciate you being flexible.
But you're in LA. Is that where you're from originally?
Well, I actually live about an hour and a half out of LA. So I commute to Culver City, which is right in LA. LA is a big place. LA, there's Hollywood, there's Culver City, there's Santa Monica, there's downtown LA. They call it LA, but there's all kinds of little communities within LA. And so, yeah, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes, 70 miles outside of LA.
That's quite the commute.
But I commute to work, which is about, an hour and 15 minutes each way with no traffic. And I even go down there with the LA Roadrunners when I train with them on Saturdays.
Nice.
I don't believe no LA traffic is a thing. Like LA is known for its traffic.
Oh, it's the worst, Eric. It's like, I give you an idea. See, I work at 5:15 tomorrow morning. I have to leave at 3:30. And if you leave anywhere past 6, so that'll take me an hour and 10 minutes to get there. If I left at 7, it would take me 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
That's like an episode and a half of our podcast that you can listen to on the way. But
Pretty much.
That's how he's listened to all 100+ episodes this year.
Right.
He's like gone back to the beginning. I mean, there's plenty. We're long form content.
Now, yeah.
You are, and it's good for podcasts. It's great for the commuter like me.
I'm glad you're not sick of us yet.
So is LA, well, not LA, but is California where you grew up then?
Yeah, I grew up here in the Antelope Valley where I live. This is a little desert community. Like I said, an hour and a half from LA. It's known very much for its aerospace industry.
Oh.
It has Edwards Air Force Base out here, Lockheed. So where most of the fighter jets are made here.
I'm intrigued.
They're currently above me right now, flying above my hotel pretty much all week. It's been kind of cool. I'm like, oh, there's Maverick and Goose. We actually had a fighter pilot. We're recording from my Tucson hotel. We had a fighter pilot here yesterday as one of the guest speakers. Tammy Bartlett. She was pretty cool. Had a great speech. So, and she's now a follower of the pod.
No way.
Wow.
Yep.
Well,
it's an Instagram follower also, because that's important.
That's right.
And
bumping
then the
those numbers up.
YouTube, and then the page. No, I'm just kidding.
So speaking of work, I know I hate to bring this up. Work, is it true, Erica? You work at a sperm bank?
No, it's not freaking true. Okay.
Oh, I heard that on the last pod, and I go, what? My ears perked up.
No.
Well,
no.
can
Let him, all right,
you
fine.
need to explain. You have you're a scientist type of person, and you have to deal with samples that need to be frozen. And one day I was just like, oh, do you work at a sperm bank?
I mean, I do.
And I said, she goes, I was like, no, seriously, I thought you did. Now I'm playing with her. And I said, Brandon told me.
You're full of shit. I absolutely do not work for a sperm bank. Not that I have anything against people who do, but that's just not me. I work for a biotech company in New Hampshire, and we're just like
that deals with semen.
No, we don't deal with semen. I mean, occasionally we'll have to do samples.
Occasionally they deal with
literally,
semen.
It would be like urine samples. So that's like, I haven't had to do that in years. It's been a long time. But
so there could be a trace.
If a client needs something,
oh God,
I'm done with you.
I'm actually kind of disappointed. I had like 1,000 questions for you.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to answer sperm bank questions, but he loves to razz on me just because I work in a lab, and every once in a while I'll get bored and I'll send him a picture. Like I have to wear like a hairnet. It's like a GMP facility, so it's like
a body condom.
I have to wear a face mask, a lab coat, the gloves, and everything. But yeah, he just takes it. And
have you ever watched like all of ER? Are you an ER fan at all?
Nah.
So I loved ER, and there's this one episode with this doctor. It's towards some of the final seasons, and he's a short redhead doctor with freckles and everything. And all of a sudden, like these 6 kids all walk in looking for him, and they all look like them. And they go, are you Dr. Anthony Bailey? And he goes, yes, I am. And he goes, did you ever donate semen between the months of, February and March of 1994? And he goes, oh, yeah, all the time. I made like $100. And then he realizes they're all his kids.
Oh, wow.
Because they had a special look, the redhead with the freckles. And he's like, oh, guys, these are my kids. And then the kids were like, screw you, you're a loser.
Oh, wow.
This episode took a left turn.
It really did, yeah.
It really did. Thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness.
Well, hey, tell us about you and tell us about life growing up in California. You kind of told me earlier when I said, hey, are you Anthony or are you Tony? And you go, no, Tony was my past life.
Yes. Well, I grew up here in Antelope Valley, and unfortunately, my parents were, I hate to make the tone sad here, but I grew up in a household with alcoholism, drug abuse, lots of physical and mental abuse. And it was a tough way to grow up. And I watched my mom and my dad just, it's crazy. My stepdad used to work on the base, and then the drug addiction got to him, and eventually, he used to think that there were Russians in the attic. There were people watching him. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on as a little kid. And one time I had to watch him dig a grave in the backyard for my mother. All kinds of craziness. Just things I would never wish upon any child. And so when I grew up, I got out of there as quick as I can, got my first job at McDonald's, moved out as fast as I could. And I swore to myself I would never drink any alcohol because I used to watch my mother do it, and it was just awful.
How old were you when you grew up and moved out?
I was like 18.
Okay.
I was still in school, actually. I was like, get me out of here. Once I got my first, I used to knock on doors, pulling weeds, because they didn't provide my clothes for me. I'd put my own clothes, my own food, my own shoes. So I did.
You were on your own for more, like before you moved out. Oh man.
Yeah, it was rough, but I think it made me stronger. I mean, many people say that, but I think it did.
Absolutely.
And when I moved out, I told myself I'd never drink again. I would never, ever drink. And then what happened? 21 hit, I went to a party. A buddy of mine said, hey, just have a shot. And that shot just turned into 14 years of alcoholism.
Wow.
And next thing I knew, I'm 35 and I wake up and I go, shit, I haven't done a damn thing with my life. I mean, I had a job and I had my own apartment and a car, more than I thought I'd ever have growing up. But it's like, geez, 14 years just flew by in a bottle, just partying. And not that I didn't have some good times during those years, but it was a real wake-up call. And it just, we can go on further. But yeah, that's pretty much my childhood.
So you went from like basically your childhood trying to survive throughout all your younger years and teenage years, and then straight into, you're on your own, but eventually 14 years of alcoholism. So you never really got to have a childhood, I guess. You never got to did you get to play sports? Did you get to be involved in school? Or you just always every day, get through the day and do what you got to do?
Oh no, school was a refuge for me, because first of all, I can go to get a meal, because a lot of times we didn't have, my parents were on welfare, and when they get the check, they'd blow it on drugs or alcohol. But no, in high school, I discovered marching. I was actually going to drop out of high school in my freshman year because I was so shy and withdrawn, and I was so scared to go there. And I'd have holes in my shoes and just looked like a mess. And I was like, oh, I'm dropping out of school. And my buddy goes, no, just try marching band. I go, okay. So I went to a thing and I discovered the drums, and I joined marching band for the next 4 years, and I freaking loved it.
Awesome.
And it was kind of like my art outlet from my home life. And I think it kind of led in, I've always been kind of an artistic person. I used to draw as a kid, and then music was my high school life, and then now it's YouTube and content creation. So it's weird how the things kind of all kind of match up together or line up.
But I'm glad everything worked out.
Still a work in progress.
Well, aren't we
We
all?
all are.
Yeah.
well, the thing is, not many people that go through trauma, you're pretty much stunted. And alcoholism,
Mm.
like I didn't really fully form, I don't mentally like I should have. So this things my wife still tells me like, no, that's not correct, or no, you should be doing this or that, or she's my voice of reason. But there's still parts of my life that it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about the abuse in my house or having flashbacks or the trauma I went through, so it's still 47 years. It still affects me today.
That is hard to get over, though. Yeah, it's just it always sticks with you, and you can do therapy and try to work through it, but it never leaves you for real.
No, unfortunately, many people
Yeah.
don't get a lot of mental illness you see on the street or drug addiction is from trauma. And so I feel very fortunate that I was able to get out of it. So,
Did you have brothers, sisters, friends from school that you would maybe go to get away, or brothers and sisters that you could like talk to and stuff, or were they going through the same thing?
well, actually, my older sister, she went down the path of drug addiction, and now she has schizophrenia, and she's pretty much been on the county for her whole life. But she's born kind of in a bad situation. She had the effects of the drug abuse from birth. My little sister, she was my half sister, and she's okay. She lives here in the town, but I talked to her. She's doing okay. Yeah. But anyways, growing up, I depended on parents and friends to I'd actually look at them and go, oh my gosh, they have such a perfect life. But then I found out years later, they're going through their own stuff too. But from the outside looking in, I thought, oh my gosh, if I could just have a life like that, like, brand new shoes or have a haircut from time to time, So, everybody has their own. I did depend on friends and neighbors to kind of help me through it.
It's hard to look at other families too, because they may look all shiny on the outside, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. 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 It's unfortunate.
One shot takes you down a 14-year road of drinking.
It was a start. Mm-hmm.
It was the start.
Yeah.
You woke up at 35. Like, what did you do to get past that?
Oh gosh. Well, to go back to the shot thing, I think it's very important to tell. Like once like I told you, I was very shy, very withdrawn, very emotionally stunted. I took that shot. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like all those feelings went away of like being shy, it turned me into like, wow, this is me. I could be outgoing.
Oh,
I could
the
go
liquid
talk to somebody.
courage.
I can go,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. I loved it. It was just, and I said, why didn't I discover this earlier? But 14 years of going to clubs and going to dingy bars and being wasted and having hangovers every day and having to wake up and apologize to people for this or that or whatever. But 35, I don't know. I think I've always had this little voice. I like to tell people you have this little voice that keeps nagging you. And I'm like, shut up, little voice. Shut up. like you're better than this kind of thing. You're better than this. Yep. And finally I just said, you know what, God, it's been 14 years. I haven't done nothing. And it wasn't overnight that I quit. It was just like, well, let me start going to the gym a little more. Let me start going to church. I'm not a religious person, but I wanted to do some positivity.
Yeah.
Because the people I hung out with were all just self-deprecating, always made fun of each other. There's nothing but negativity.
Yeah.
So let me go to church, get some positive energy in me. Let me listen to some speeches and stuff like that. And eventually it just kind of kicked in. And then when I met my wife, she was the final push. I mean, she was the one, because I finally decided, okay, I'm going to get serious about this dating thing. And I found her. And when I met her, I was still kind of smoking and drinking because I smoked cigarettes back then. And she goes, I don't care if you do it, just don't do it in front of me. But then 6 months went by and she says, well, I'm in love with you now. So it's either me or that. What are you going to do?
Ooh, okay.
And that was her ultimatum was the final push.
Okay.
But it's funny with her, I've had many do that to me. And I'm like, oh, go pound sand. I don't care. But with her, it was different.
Okay.
It was like, there was something special about her. And I'm like, okay. And it was tough. I mean, it was hard, Eric. Oh my gosh. She was like, I couldn't listen to 80s music again because I loved 80s music. And I'd always attach that to like drinking and smoking and all the things I learned, I had to kind of let go of. But yeah, without her, I wouldn't have, I'd still probably be sitting in that same little apartment getting drunk every night.
What's her name and how did you meet her?
It's my darling Jen. If you ever watch my YouTube videos, you'll see her on there. She's an amazing woman. I always get emotional talking about her. She's just
Aw.
a great person.
She's your rock.
No, she's my. Oh yeah, she's my. You see behind me. You can see that. It's a little stuff behind me. Oh, you can't see it.
I could
But
see
that's
the
our little
Bailey's
Bailey thing behind me.
established 2017.
Yeah, I got married in 2000, met in 2012. Got married in 2017.
Beautiful.
But meeting her, I started getting more confidence in me. Like, okay, let me go to the gym. I started doing more in the gym I thought I'd ever do.
Mhm.
And then I said, okay, let me apply for the police department.
Ooh.
Because I thought, okay, if I can be a police officer, I can kind of help people that are going through the stuff I was going through as a child. And I went through the whole process. I was gung-ho about the police department. Really wanted to help. And 9 months into the process, LAPD, I was so close. And LAPD said, thanks, but no thanks.
They
And I
made
was
you
so
go through
devastated.
9 months of like training, whatever, and they said no.
Backgrounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, at the time I was 35, so I had a long background for him to go through. But I used to go to this thing on the Saturdays called CAFS, which is like a training academy for people going to the police
Mhm.
department. And I used to run my butt off because I was going against these young kids, and I'm like, I'm not going to let these kids beat me. So I'm just running. And when they said no, a friend of mine said, why don't you do a marathon? I go, a marathon? That's like for elite athletes. I'm not doing a marathon. Well, I looked into it and I go, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I signed up for the 2017 LA Marathon. And my whole goal was just to run the whole thing. And that's what I did. And I felt like when I crossed that finish line, I'm like, if I can do this, oh my gosh, I could do anything. And that was the start of my marathon journey. I remember about 5 minutes later, a friend of mine said, would you ever do it again? I said, hell no. It was awful, painful, worst thing ever. But then 2 weeks later, the pain wore off and I'm like, okay. And now it's this Sunday, I'll be doing my 12th marathon.
Good for
So,
you.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on a second.
A lot to unpack there.
Somebody goes,
Yeah.
you should run a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever run before?
No.
You didn't even go 5K. You didn't even do coach to 5K. You just went straight to marathon.
I might have did like little fun 5Ks, but nothing serious. I never put any serious training into anything. I just trained for the academy. That's the only thing I was training for.
How long did you have to train for this marathon?
Probably a few months. But like I said, I was putting in miles before that, but I never put in long miles, like 16, 17 miles. I didn't know anything about hydration or fueling or anything. I remember one time my wife said, do you have enough water? I'm like, yeah, I got enough water. And 2 hours later, I had to call her, can you come pick me up? I don't have enough water.
Right.
Yeah, so the most miles I ran was 16 before that first marathon. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was tough.
That's pretty incredible, though.
Yeah.
I mean, so you never really ran before the police academy. And then, so this happened. He plants a seed. I mean, how did you go about learning what to do to train for the marathon? Did you just Google it, or did you kind of seek out a friend who might have known how to do it? So the friend who planted the seed didn't even know? He didn't run with you?
He was an older guy. I used to be part of this group called Toastmasters.
Okay.
He's a public speaking group. And I joined that to kind of get ready for the police department also. And but he was an older guy. He hasn't done them in years. And he goes, oh, you should do a marathon. It's like just put the little thing in my ear.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, okay. And so all I knew was I just got back up the miles. That's all I knew.
So how did the training go for you? And then we can go into how your first marathon actually went. You said you ran the whole thing though, so that's actually
I ran the
better
whole
than
thing, but I was doing a lot of strength.
He ran the whole thing, but he said he would never do it again. It was awful.
It was the worst. Yeah, I'd never experienced any kind of pain in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But but at the time, I did a lot of strength work. So I think strength work played a big part in it. I did it in like 4:32.
That's great.
And yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get back to that time.
So this was a LA marathon, you said, that you ran for the first time?
Yeah, it was back then. It was Dodger Stadium to Santa Monica Beach.
Okay.
It used to be called Stadium to the Sea. And since then, they changed the course. But yeah, it was interesting.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it went? Like, how was your race day? Like, if this was your first ever real race, what did you think of the running community? How was everybody, like, how was the vibe when you got there on race morning? Were you excited? Were you nervous?
Intimidating. Very. I remember getting on the bus because you have to take a bus from Union Station to the start line. And I'm just sitting there in the dark by myself, scared out of my
You
mind.
didn't try
like,
to
what the
talk
heck?
to anybody, kind of.
No. Good Lord, no. I didn't know anybody. I knew nothing. Like now it's like I go a mile and I run into everybody because I just adapted the running community now. But I didn't know nobody. I had to wait till like mile 16 because my wife was waiting for me there.
Oh, well, at least
Yeah, so that's
you
what I was
had
waiting
her
for.
supporting you,
Mhm.
so that's great.
Oh yeah, and then got to the end, which was a nightmare back then, getting to Santa Monica from.
I believe
from there.
it.
But
She
yeah,
would have had to run
so
herself.
yeah,
I'm going to meet you at the end.
mhm. yeah. But there's no talking. There's no community. It was just me and my mind and trying to get through it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, that can be a
Mhm.
tough thing trying to jump right into so that must have been so out of your comfort zone and just like it's hard to make friends, but you guys have that common bond now. You guys are running a marathon together. So there's always
Mhm.
somebody who will usually come up to you and just be like, "How you doing? Like, are you nervous?" Like that's usually
yeah,
the one question.
it's a whole
but
different vibe, whole different
glad
scene
that it has
now. But yeah,
changed
back
now.
then, yeah.
Yeah, me too. So
Mhm.
what was like the break into your running community then? Because you seem to be super involved in it
Mhm.
now. How do you find the community in LA?
I think. Well, first, I didn't know that there was actually a running community on Instagram until like a few weeks after that marathon. I'm like,
Mm.
what the heck? Look at all these running pages. What is this? And I started following people and following their journeys. And some of the same people I used to be starstruck by are actually people I have phone numbers on my phone and hang out with on a regular basis now. But yeah, the running community on Instagram is just amazing. And then the next year, I did the next LA marathon, and I decided to do it for charity. So I started I did it for a fundraiser, and so that kind of got me out there a little bit more. And then, or a few years later, I joined LA Roadrunners, which I wish I would have done my first year. I learned more in the first few weeks of LA Roadrunners than I knew I've learned anywhere before that. You know, I got a whole community teaching me how to do things now.
Mhm.
But that was always intimidating. I'm not going to go to a running club. Oh my God, these fast runners. But completely different than what I imagined.
That's always a problem with like joining a new group. You're like, is somebody going to run my speed? Am I going to have somebody to run with, or am I going to be alone? So I'm glad that it worked out that you found your people because you seem very popular.
Yeah. Thank you. I love the LA road running scene. It's just amazing.
Excellent.
Now, you said your wife was like at mile 16, but does your wife run with you as well?
She doesn't run with me. We are on our different journeys, but she runs now. She actually started. She did her first 2 marathons at about 250 pounds. She was like, she got there when everything was tore down, but she still did it.
Oh, absolutely. That's
And then-
great. Go, Jen.
Yeah, she's amazing. But then she got, she kept battling weight her whole life, and then eventually she got gastric sleeve surgery, and now she's like 130, 140 pounds, and 2 years ago she ran her first marathon and got there before everything was tore down. So yeah, she's on her own journey too, but she is just a very inspiring woman. She said she's going to get to Boston before me, which is, I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
You guys just need to get there together. That's all that counts.
Oh, it's a competition, Erica.
Oh,
We can't have that
no,
happen. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want to
Nothing
hear
wrong with a
that.
little healthy competition.
Well, I mean, you can push each other to be your best selves, but just don't
Yeah.
compete against each other. No.
No, I see.
Aren't the two of you involved in like a running club Tuesday nights? Do you organize it, or are you just a part of it? Like there was a thing about Tuesday nights
Well,
that
that's a
you
whole
do
different
every
topic,
Tuesday,
yeah.
right?
We started after the 2018 fundraiser that I did. We did it again, and we built a team, and I've been fundraising for LA Marathon ever since. And we thought, hey, we like this fundraising thing. Let's start a nonprofit. So we started the nonprofit Run for Grace, where we basically help those in need through running. We build teams to run events, or I do an event like I did a few 4x4x48s for a nonprofit out here. So it's just my way of kind of raising money through my passion for running. But at one point during that nonprofit journey, we decided to start a running club and help the community by having a running club out here. So we meet every Tuesday night at a place called Lucky Luke, which is a brewery. And yeah, so it's just 7 p.m. We have it's actually been growing these past few weeks, which has been nice. So I think the running boom is really taken to the Antelope Valley.
I just looked at my clock. I'm like, it's 6:57. You're going to miss it. But I forget that you guys are not on the East Coast right now. So it's just me.
Yeah.
So it says it's an affiliate club of the LA Roadrunners. How do you become an affiliate club of the LA Roadrunners?
And that's actually how our running club started. Because we used to be on we have a cheer booth on the course of the LA Marathon.
Cool.
Mile 20. We have people from the community, volunteers, and so when you get kind of connected with the LA Marathon, they kind of reached out to us, say, "Hey, we're starting this affiliate program. We want to get more eyeballs on the LA Roadrunners, and you guys in the Antelope Valley, would you guys mind being an affiliate?" And they're like, "What time does your running club start?" And we're like, "It starts on 7 p.m. on Saturday or whatever." We didn't have a club back then, but we just said it just to like, "Oh yeah, it starts this day."
Okay.
We weren't going to pass that opportunity up. So yeah, so we help promote the LA Roadrunners from afar.
It's cool.
That's really cool. And you and your wife Jen both you kind of run the program. You run the club.
We are both the club leads, yeah, and we're both glad to say we both got accepted as LA Marathon ambassadors again this year. So we're both on the team. This is my 4th year. This is her 3rd year. So we're both very involved in the LA running community and LA Marathon. It just brought so much joy to us. So we just want to spread the love to everybody else.
So I guess I don't need to ask you what your favorite marathon is, because I'm assuming it's going to be LA. But
it's always going to be LA. Yeah.
Did you said you did 12 of them so far?
I've done 12 marathons.
What other
this
ones
will be my
have you
12th
done?
marathon. I've done there's a Santa Clarita marathon, which is about 30 minutes away from our house.
Okay. Oh, so you've been sticking to really like the local California.
I haven't done any. Yeah, I haven't done any majors yet.
That's okay.
I'm working my way up to them, but I want to do Chicago.
He's earning it, Erica.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, you got to earn it.
Yeah,
He's earning it.
Definitely earning
Oh,
it.
don't get back to that conversation you guys had a few weeks ago.
He's very passionate about that. So
I kind of agree. I'm the same way. I think you really have to earn to get into these races. I mean, I can see how fundraising is helping also, but.
I would say you like if you got into Boston this year, I would say you've earned it in a way. You've run 12 marathons, which I don't think you have to run a marathon to earn it, right? But you're involved in the community. You do a run club. You're an ambassador.
Yeah.
You fundraise. You do so many things than just I want to run in the marathon on social media and eventually you get a bib.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't agree with that also. Yeah. But I understand it is a business and they need to get eyeballs on these. And plus these people that are giving these bibs out, it's like they already have they're giving these bibs. So it's not like they're missing out on any, because, like ASICs, they probably get like 20 bibs here.
Right.
Use these 20 bibs however you want. So
makes sense.
Who knows? It's a different conversation for another time.
Don't rile him up. He's going to go off on it again.
Well, I'm just adding some notes here. At the end, we're going to talk all about. No, I'm kidding. What was so you've done 12. How many of those 12 have been LA marathons?
Well, this would be my 12th coming up Sunday, but I think 9 of them were LA.
That's awesome.
I've done every one since 2017. Let me see, 17, 18, 19, 20.
We got a streaker.
24. So maybe it's 11 marathons, 11 or 12, something like that.
That's still a nice number.
When is the LA marathon typically? Isn't it March or is it
every March? Yeah,
every March.
About a month.
How's the
Boston.
weather?
Last year was super hot.
I think Rachel ran it last year. She went out at one point. I forget which one. It must have been last year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years ago.
It gets pretty warm.
Yeah. Have you ever had like a big like Erica did the Boston when it was super rainy and storm, and then this year Boston was super hot? What's been one of the hardest LA marathons not being your first marathon?
The hardest one, geez, probably this last year, because I was looking so forward to it, and I thought I trained so hard for it, and 16 I ended up bonking.
Oh no! But, did you finish or did you have to drop?
No, I finished. Oh, okay. Yeah, I finished. I just want to keep running, but I had to stop.
It happens.
Yeah, no, it's a difficult course. If those don't know LA, it's very hilly.
I don't actually know LA, so this is some good intel.
It's probably one of the harder courses. If you're going to qualify for Boston, it's one of the harder courses. People always say, do not try to qualify for Boston or LA because it's so hard.
I know people use CIM for qualifying because that's a fast course, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have not run either. Yeah. I need to get back out to California. I've done Big Sur a couple of times, which is also not an easy course, but it's beautiful.
You got to come to LA. I mean, and this year's extra special because it's the 40th running of the LA Marathon.
That is true. Maybe I'll make a trip.
If she doesn't make the trip, Anthony, I know when she will be there. 2028 for the Olympics. And she's looking for a place to stay. Do you have a spare bedroom for her and Tara Pterodactyl?
I don't know if she wants to travel an hour and a half away from LA to stay at her place.
I feel like that's the only way we're going to be able to afford it.
It might be worth it compared to the hotel prices.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so amazing. But I'm always thinking the marathon is going to be in the middle of summertime.
The
Olympics in the summer. Can you imagine? And that's going to be like 90 degrees.
Just this past year out in Paris, it was super hot for the athletes. So maybe that's just a trend. They're like, hey, see what you really got. What kind of grit do you have to beat
Exactly.
this?
It's called the Summer Olympics, and
No,
none of
I
these
know.
sports are supposed to be
I
easy.
know that.
This is hard.
I know, you're
Let's
proving
not
your
be
grit.
like, oh, let's do it in 70 degrees and move the marathon somewhere else. Make it like anchored down, hot and humid.
Well, that
Then
is
we
the
can
way.
really know who the best marathon runner
Right.
is.
I agree.
But what they do though, it is weird. They don't hold it first thing in the morning. They do it like mid-afternoon, evening time when it's already hot.
Because
and
it's supposed to
humid.
be hard.
But I mean, you got to make sure that your athletes aren't going to go passing out, like because a lot of them will push past their.
They are
limits.
world-class elite athletes.
But they have limits.
This
too.
isn't you or me.
No, I know, but they have limits too. So just saying, they don't make it easy for you.
I'm sure by the time it comes around, the way your podcast is going, you guys are going to be invited and have like
Wouldn't that
immediate
be
passes
cool?
and everything.
Yeah.
That would be
cool.
cool,
One
but
can
I
dream.
think we need another 100,000 downloads per week.
One can dream for sure.
Maybe 30, 36, maybe
30, 36?
I don't think so.
20.
We
I
be
don't
dead,
think
dude.
so.
The way am I living for
We're
another
gonna live
1,000
forever,
years?
man.
But
That would be cool, Anthony. That would be so cool. It would be cool to be recognized like that. Even to go to something like just be invited to a race or to do a show. Yeah, that would be all cool.
Guarantee it's going to happen. Guarantee.
Well,
I
I
love
appreciate that.
your optimism. I'm gonna adapt it.
But as I like to say, this is not about us. It's about you. I want to hear more of your
This is
stories.
the Anthony show.
So what are some of your favorite running moments since you started running in 2017 when that guy goes, I think you should run a marathon, and you're just like, yeah, so you went couch to marathon. But within that time frame of 2017 to today, what are some of your favorite moments or most memorable moments? Maybe not favorite, but just memorable.
Well, of course, always seeing my wife at that cheer station was always special to me. Oh gosh, here's one for you. Okay, so we have two teenagers, and every now and then they'll come along with us back when they were younger. And we're doing the Rose Bowl half marathon, which is by Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena. And we were doing a fundraiser at the time, so we had a cheer booth on the course. And I'm getting ready to come see I'm almost here to see my family. I can't wait to see them. And I get by, and my teenage daughter goes, "Where's Ezra?" Ezra Weiss is a speaker for the show Miraculous. Have you heard of the show Miraculous? It's a cartoon on
No,
Netflix
I don't
or something.
think so.
No.
She was a big fan of him, but he was a friend of mine, and he's another marathon ambassador. But she wanted to see him, so instead of saying hello to me, the father, the one that saw this little girl grow up, she's screaming for this other guy, and ever since then, I've been bitter ever since. But that was a funny moment.
No.
But yeah, there's been so many different.
Did she ever find Ezra?
She has met him a few times now, but now she's older. She's 17. She, that
little out of the
past, but
yeah. Oh, that's funny.
But I tell you,
that's
it broke my heart.
disappointing, though.
Eric, you got kids. It's like, cheer me on. Like, no, we see you every day. We're fine.
We're only running a half marathon. It's not a full marathon.
Yeah.
That seemed, Dad, you've done more than that. Like, this is, you're helping Ezra. You bringing Ezra to me. That's so cool. No, it is. You know what is neat, though? I have no clue who Ezra is, but to try to compare, it'd be like your kids really wanting to see, their childhood favorite TV character, like Bluey or like Minnie. Like, I remember we're doing our first Disney character breakfast the first day we're at Disney, and just all of a sudden Tommy and Tyler are going crazy, and I don't even know what's going on, and they can see Pluto and Minnie from like outside the windows as they're about to come in soon. It's like, I want to go, and they're trying to get out of their stools, and I'm like, they just went crazy. Then I looked to my right, and I'm like, oh, like when they saw them, and they didn't even know where we were. That was the best part. They were like 20 months. They had no clue where we were, but then when they saw them, they went nuts.
Adorable.
And that's so cool to see as a parent. So in a way, I could picture when your daughter loves this Ezra guy. Yeah, that's kind of a cool moment if you're able to provide that for them.
Yeah, he was fine. I'm still a little bitter about it, but oh well, what are you gonna do? No, there's been so
I'm
many
like, hey, Dad paid all this money to get you to meet Minnie and Mickey. Where's my hug?
No, I think when you say favorite moments, it's hard to think of because there's been so many. It's like I think joining the LA Roadrunners and being part of that community is like I like people will say to us, like my wife and I will drive down there to go there. Why do you guys come all the way down here to do this? I'm like, because you guys are family to us. We don't mind driving an hour and 20 minutes to come running with our family. And I think that pretty much puts the LA running scene in a nutshell. It's like a big family out here, and it's gotten so big. There's so many running clubs out here. I don't know what it's like where you guys live. If there's like a running club every 5 feet, but in LA, they're everywhere.
We don't have quite as many, but they're here, and we appreciate them. It is nice to get together.
The boom is hit. Yeah, the running boom is hit out here, big time. And so there's not a night where there's a running club that you can go hang out at. But you just meet. So when you meet these people, and then you're doing the marathon, you get like it's vastly different from my first one. They're not knowing anybody and just being in my own head. To now, I cannot go a mile without seeing someone or somebody tap me on the shoulder. I go, oh my God, I saw you on YouTube and thanks for your video and blah, blah, blah. And it's like that kind of stuff is like, wow, that's really cool. But that's it. I'm sorry, I don't have any bigger stories for you.
Well,
Eric,
you kind of gave us a little segue there. Let's talk about your YouTube.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So
I love filming. I love content creation. I know, and I think this is something I got to talk to you about, Eric. You and Erica. And you keep trying to get her to post for you or give you videos. And I have the same problem with my wife. Yeah, my wife is the same. My wife, okay, if this is bottom of the heap, content creation is down here. It's like it's just not her thing. She does not. It's not. So I mean, she does it. She's gotten better at it, but it's like
it takes time.
She doesn't enjoy it. So I wonder, maybe that's the same thing with Erica.
That's me.
Maybe you want her to do it, but she just doesn't. Maybe you have to find someone else that's like really enjoys doing it, and maybe find something because you're a science kind of. You like to read a lot,
I do.
So maybe give her a job that involves a lot of reading. Maybe research on guests or something. I don't know, and give you the cliff notes.
Not a bad idea. He's like, I see. I keep saying,
I think I've done that.
I keep saying I need an intern, an unpaid intern to do my.
She needs an intern to do her homework assignments that she doesn't do.
Okay.
But
okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get off.
If I didn't like her, I wouldn't tease her for it, right, Erica?
Right.
I think she just, so we're recording this in advance, but around the time we recorded this, she just had like the greatest week ever in her lifetime of the podcast with social media content. And I think when she sees the engagement that comes from it, and if she just is consistent, she'll recognize like, holy cow, people are really following and they want to see in the moment live, like right then and there. And I was getting messages like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next, or keep going. Brady was like, please keep posting. This is a great, cool story, because it was all from the storm to your race getting canceled to you driving to Rockingham, you being late to the race, and then you're trying to just get the medal for 100K. I mean, it was just such a cool story, and people want to hear it now. And I think she's realizing that, but really she just needs to find whatever homework assignment she wants that she's like, gets really into and is passionate about. And it's like, oh, I can't wait to do that, because like, I can't wait to get up and do that. Or I can't wait to listen to this, then email that guest and say, thank you. So once she finds what works for her, it's going to be amazing. And what doesn't work from her, I'll handle until we make a ton of money and I can delegate to somebody else.
True.
It's my brainchild. That's the thing. So I'm just trying to think of things. It's my brainchild, as she always calls it.
You have so much shit on your plate at this point, so I need to take something off of it.
I get it, man. I got so many things on my mind I want to do. Like, I want to do this and this. It's just so much. And
you're only one person, and you can only do certain things before you run out of time.
If you want to take something off my plate, we need to figure out what you want to take off my plate. Because instead of, I've never really tried to give you a job that I do. I've just tried to create jobs for you. So maybe we can find something I do that you can take over.
We'll talk.
I like this, Anthony. This is good. This is good talk. You brought this up. We're having a discussion, and other people are giving their inputs here. This is good.
Give her something that she enjoys doing, and it won't be such a task for her.
Exactly. It's more of a fun project than a homework assignment. Well, that's how you got to.
Well, I do want video content of your races. Yes. That's what I do want. That is going to.
I actually do gather a lot of stuff, but I
get it 2 weeks later.
Exactly. My stuff is not like, I don't have service to post because I go out to these remote places to do these races. And so it's hard. Like, it would be best to do it in the moment, which is why I was posting, because I had service and I could. But it's just hard to go back to it after. And then I'm like, oh, so much time has passed at this point. Do people even care anymore? Blah, blah, blah. So that's what goes on in my head about all this stuff.
But he just wants the content. He doesn't care if you post. He just wants the content, right?
And I'll figure out how to post it.
Yeah.
So why don't you just invest in a GoPro? Get yourself a GoPro, and you could just plug it in at night, connect it to your Wi-Fi, and it goes all the way up to the cloud, and he could have the cloud, the footage.
I like this. I like this. But we'll use some of that Patreon money to get you a GoPro, and you just upload it for me. I love this. Oh, Anthony, thank you so much for jumping on. What was, unless I missed it, unless I wasn't listening, what was the start of your YouTube and being just a content creator? What was the first, like, hey, I want to dabble in this. I want to learn how to edit a video or to make a video. And then what kind of videos are you making? Are you making more Casey Neistat vlog style things? Are you making like educational running videos or just videos of your races? What's the content you're bringing on your YouTube channel? All
of the above. I'm Casey Neistat. Oh my gosh. He is just an amazing filmmaker. But yeah, I love his style. I love the vlog style. I do every now and then do some like how-to stuff or shoe reviews and stuff like that. But I think my real thing is this vlog style stuff. And it's basically just me trying to help others through my journey. I mean, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but hey, if you learn anything from me, that's great. So I started this in 2020. It wasn't it was the pandemic, but that, and I said, hey, I want to start making videos. I talked to my wife about it, and I go, if I make videos, I want to make sure that everybody's cool with it. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to and I want to be fully transparent with my life, because I think my running journey and my sobriety journey can help somebody out there. And as long as she gave me the green light, she said, let's go for it. And from there, I was off and running, and just I learned my own. I filmed my first video with my phone, edited on my phone. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. Still learning as I go, but over time, you just keep adding things to your tool belt and you learn as you go.
There you go.
And so now it's been a few years. I'm still trying to figure it out. Now with my job being so demanding, I can't get out as much as I'd like to get out. But my editing, I mean, I look back at my old videos and I go, oh my gosh, it is complete garbage.
That's kind of like our old
compared to what I'm
podcast episode.
Yeah. It's just, but at the time you do the best you can at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. You don't see that it's growing. You're not learning as fast as you think you are, but you are. I mean, Eric, when you look back a year from now, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, look how far we've come. And you're going to be thankful for it. Just keep at it. Just keep persistent.
That's what I have to do. Yeah, I need to keep at it. I'll keep at it.
It's hard for everybody. We got lives. We got things going on. And then you get perfectionism going in your head, like, oh my god.
That's the hard part.
Oh my god. I'm so
He knows about that. Oh, that's his thing. Yep.
I'm curious if people are listening, if you've noticed like a change in the quality, because I've changed the way I've edited it a little bit, and I became less picky, call it since the summertime, about the yums and about a few other things. And I'm wondering if people have caught on, or if they're just like, they don't notice. Like, I still think it sounds great and everything, but I've been a little less picky, which saves me a little more time. I still get rid of some awkward pauses or some things. There's still a lot of editing. Nothing is like unhinged or raw.
You know what would save you a lot of time, though? Not doing it twice. Because you say you edited on 2 different platforms and do a lot of work.
Only on the rare occasion.
Okay.
Like sometimes I edit and like just everything, I'm learning things and figuring it out. So yeah, I go back. Okay. So around episode 30, right? I was like, wow, like our first 10 were awful. Then the teens were okay. And then the 20s we really figured out. And episode 30 is perfect. And Erica's like, get Doozer. I'm like, no, we're not ready still.
What is
And then
Doozer?
by the time we were ready, it was episode 50. Yeah, big YouTuber I love a lot. And he bikes everywhere around the world and he loves to run. He doesn't drive a car. So then we do Ryan Van Duze around 50 because I really think we're good. And around that time, I'm like, wow, I'm glad we didn't do him at 30 because 30 wasn't good. And then we get up to episode 100 with Catherine Switzer. And I go back one day and listen to the Doozer one because I edited the video for it. And I'm like, oh my God, we were awful.
See?
Couldn't have been that bad.
I don't think it was that bad. The Catherine was great. I think you guys sound fantastic.
Thank you.
The
No,
volume level is fantastic. There's some podcasts you listen to, the volume levels, like you got to turn it all the way to the top.
Oh my God. I don't understand. Okay, I don't understand how they screw that up. Like you can fix it in editing.
Oh.
Erica's microphone for the longest time was very low. I always bump it up. Like how is your podcast volume too low? How are your sound volumes like? How is one guy perfect and
Maybe
the other
they
one
didn't
like
go to
super high?
YouTube University like you did to learn
Yeah.
all
University
this.
YouTube? Yes, those things, like those are the quality things I want to perfect. So like Tracy, she saw us and she's like, hey, I listened to a few episodes. You guys are awesome just because the sound quality is good. And I'm like, if you have a good sound quality,
Mhm.
people will stick around. If it sucks, they're going to leave.
Oh, definitely. There's been I've shut down just because the sound is awful.
Right. So let me actually ask you that question then. Being a YouTube creator, what are those like quality things you're looking for that you must have? Like your video needs to have it for it to be good quality, or else you don't want to put it out there for the world to see.
You mean for me myself?
Yes.
Oh gosh, this is hard because my people keep telling me you need to just simply don't be so perfect all the time, or don't try to be so perfect. Just get it out there. I need to have. I want to bring value to people.
Mhm.
My thing is, like, if this video is not bringing value to somebody, like, why does somebody just want to watch me do a race? I mean, okay, it's cool they see the race, they see that, but I want to bring something like my LA Marathon video this year. It shows the course and it kind of talks about my alcoholism and how you can overcome it, kind of thing. So that's my inner struggle. Even though my friends and hey, Anthony, just get something out. We don't care. Just get something out. But my thing is, I always want to bring value to people. I don't want to waste anybody's time. But when it comes to the sound needs to be good. I want now I've learned to film much better. I kind of know how to use my camera. Like you see my camera now. I know how to use this DSLR. I'm just learning as I go. But I look back at my first videos and go, there's no way. Like I have a video called "How to Qualify for Boston," or how long does it take to qualify for Boston? And lately it's kind of been getting a lot of views because of the whole Boston Marathon thing. And I said, let me watch this thing to see what it's like. And I'm watching it and I'm like, oh my God. There was no way in hell I would have released that now because the editing was so basic to me. But now my editing skills have gotten so much better. So my level, my standards have raised a little bit. But it's also kind of a bad thing because I don't put as much content because my quality is my level, my standards have raised.
I see.
But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Well, higher standards means higher quality, but it does take longer to get there. So it's a give and take of what you're willing to sacrifice to either just put content out faster, or do you want to make people wait a little longer? So, I mean, I personally appreciate the work that goes into, like, if you're more of a perfectionist, like I appreciate the work that people put in, especially like Eric. He does a wonderful job with what he does, but I know how time consuming it is. But if you just put out like crap, then
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think you can just see the value. It is totally visible, and I mean, I gotta give you guys credit. It's so well done.
Oh,
I get pressure sometimes, and Anthony, I wonder if you do, because you told me that people are like, "Hey, just put it out there." Well, I'm going to give you an example. Not sometimes, but like on occasion. When we went to Peloton and we recorded in the car, I got more than one message that said, "Drop the episode, drop it now," and I was like, "No, it's coming out Thursday."
Well, we have to stick to a schedule too. Like we try to do that kind of stuff. So,
and I'm like, I need to edit it. No, it doesn't need any editing. Drop it now. And I was like, nope, it needs some editing. I need to make sure. And I did it. Like I told everyone it will be there Thursday, build up the anticipation, do the teaser post, maybe do a teaser reel or a teaser audio clip, and build up the anticipation. So when Thursday comes, or in most cases Tuesday, it's like, here it is. People wake up in the morning and there's the new episode. But yeah, I got that from a lot of the Peloton people. They just wanted to hear it now. Hear it now.
It's so tough because you see other like content creators. Like one of my favorite is Kofuzi. I love that guy. Have you guys followed Kofuzi at all?
Yes, I follow Kofuzi. I think he does
I
think he does a great job. Actually,
he's amazing.
Some of it is very long, but he does a great job.
I mean, I followed him from when he like almost first started, and the the work that guy puts in and the quality of his stuff is so incredible. And he puts out stuff like almost every day, every other day. I'm like, how do you get the time to do this? But it's all about reps. The more reps you do, the better you get. It's all with anything. So reps and, like you said, consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So you turn this into a business, right? You have at least an LLC or something. Your Best Life Media.
Yeah. When I left the bus company in 2022, I got burnt out. Wanted to try something new.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can make videos for people. And so that's what I did. I started Your Best Life Media. So now I make videos for small businesses that need content.
That's cool.
And it's also the umbrella company for my YouTube channel and my wife's YouTube channel. And it's just the umbrella so it's kind of like that business.
Sounds
thing.
like Monday
I'm
Night
turning this thing
Media.
into a business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I love it. I mean, the business was tough. It was hard to, man, being a business owner is harder than a marathon.
Oh, no
There's
way.
It is tough. Yeah. But, you know what? I gave it a shot and not that I don't think it failed. It just, I learned a lot.
Okay.
And so now it is still there. I'm still doing like on Tuesdays, I'm still doing my client work. I'm still doing stuff like that. But,
Awesome.
it's still there and I learned so much from it. I mean, like I said, it gave me way more reps, like video editing and learning what works, what doesn't work, what I don't like.
A worthwhile experience.
Mm-hmm.
What would be like strategies you'd use to go out and find clients? Would they come to you? Would you go to them? Would you advertise?
No, you got to go. You got to be in the community. I go to the chamber events. I'd reach out to old businesses that used to sponsor us, people I just grown communities with. Send out, social media. You got to do social media a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But go to all the events you can, get the word out, tap people's shoulders, and just try to get as much work as you can. Even if you do, maybe sometimes you got to do some free work. Sometimes you got to do work that you hardly charge for just to get the exposure or just get experience or to add to your portfolio. But so now the company it's going in a different direction than what I first thought it would go.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I'm excited about it. Who knows? One of my buddies is saying, you need to just do running content. You need to just go film runners. And I go, yeah, if I had more than one day off, I might do that.
Right.
But you never know. I don't know. I'm excited to see what the future is of this company.
Excellent.
Well, you must have been reading my notes because what was next was exactly that. What's next, Anthony?
Mm-hmm. Well, the nonprofit's a big one. Run for Grace is huge to us. I just love raising money for those in need. And if I could do it through my passion for running, that's even better.
Excellent.
So that's that. And the running club is every Tuesday nights, and we're having fun with that. We're growing that. It's amazing. These past few weeks have really been.
How many
where are all
members
these
do you
people
have?
coming from? Now we're getting like 15 to 20 per meetup.
That's great.
When it used to be for like 2 years was just me and my wife.
You guys were the run.
Wife.
But you
We were the
stuck with
club.
it, dude.
We'd have
Wow.
We'd have a person show up every now and then, and he'd not come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know. It's just about being patient and persistent. And
It's playing the long game.
Mm-hmm.
Short game never works. You play the long game, you stick with it, you grow a community. It takes some time, but you play the long game. And Erica and I are still in the long game. But that's how success works for the majority of us. For the 99%, it's the long game. 1% short game. We're in the 99%.
And then they don't learn. If they do the short game, they get instant success. They don't know how to handle that success.
Yeah.
And my wife is so good. She is so patient. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm like Eric. I want to go. And she's like, nope, we're going to take our time. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're not going to just, I'm like, we got to do this. Like, we don't got the time to do that. So
she has a YouTube channel too. Are you guys like bouncing things off each other? Does she edit as well? Or do you do all the editing?
No, she does zero editing.
She's like me.
The star on camera. Yeah.
She's
She
like
shows
Erica.
up. She shows up. She'll do the videos. I'll edit them. She does live streams. She tries to do them every Friday, but she just got a concussion from falling from the trail run.
No.
She's training for a trail run, her first ultra marathon.
Jen, you're gonna have to wear a helmet
Freaking
now.
trails, I'm telling you, the rocks and roots, everything is like a tripping hazard.
She fell in the parking lot.
Oh no.
Erica.
Oh, Jen. Oh.
She was going out of the parking lot. She tripped over a crack in the concrete because she looked back to see what somebody was saying to her.
Those damn
And
cracks
she
in the
just hit
concrete.
face first, but she saved her nails, which was a good thing.
Well, what about her face?
But she had a gash in her eye. She had to get stitches.
That's
Had
a
to
code
drive-
brown.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
yeah. I had to
Jen.
drive down there, take her, get out of the emergency room, but she had a concussion, and that concussion is still affecting. It's been 2 months. It's still
Oh
affecting her.
no.
She's not as she's foggy. She's getting better, but she's not the sharp Jen that she was before. But the concussions are serious.
I've heard those
This is
take a
Yeah.
long time to
Mhm.
get over. Yeah. That's
yeah.
oh,
But that's her.
so
She does.
awful.
She's VSG athlete on YouTube. VSG athlete. She shares her journey of being weight loss surgery, and she's amazing. She has like a quarter of the videos I have, and she's grown faster than me because she's in a niche. She's in a specific niche. And people, oh gosh, she was one time at a LA marathon. She was at our cheer group, our cheer tent at the marathon, and somebody stopped in the middle of the marathon, came up to her and says, "Oh my gosh, you're that girl on that VSG athlete video. I share your videos to my class," because she's a college, she's not a teacher, what's the word for it?
Professor.
A professor.
Mhm.
And she shares her videos to her students, and she stopped in the middle of her marathon to say hello to Jen. So that's the power of YouTube. It is.
Oh.
I had someone come up to me at one expo and say, "I flew in from New York today because I saw your video last week."
No way.
I'm like, "What?"
That's
Oh,
so cool.
From YouTube. I'm like, I love YouTube. I cannot push it any harder.
Oh,
It's great.
Awesome. So people need to subscribe to ours
Yeah.
Mhm.
and yours.
And I know when On the Run starts vlogging, I know who I'm going to for advice and tips and help.
Just have a search.
Erica's next homework assignment, start
search-based.
vlogging.
Go find search-based stuff, because YouTube, there's videos I have now that I made when I first started are still getting views, all because SEO. People search
Yep.
these things and they find them.
So, one question I have is, I know doing all my podcasting research is a lot of people will podcast or YouTube, right? And they'll pay someone else to edit their podcast or their video. And it's pretty common where they actually pay someone on the other side of the world. So like in a Casey Neistat did all his, but he would YouTube all day and it would be out by 8 a.m. the next day. A lot of people do that, but they pay someone who lives in a different time zone. So they edit it during like their normal working hours. And then by the time that YouTuber wakes up, they have a new YouTube video edited in their
Wow.
email inbox.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You ever think of like dabbling into that and doing that
No.
kind of work for others?
Maybe for others, I don't know. But myself, I just like I love the editing process. I could sit there for hours and just edit, and I like, oh my gosh, 5 hours went by. I could get lost in it. It's just it's like my therapy. I just love it. I hate when I have to go to work or I get interrupted or something like but maybe who knows? Maybe one day. I can't imagine ever hiring anybody to do editing for my videos, because I feel like this is my special touch.
Right, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But you feel like you could really kick ass at their editing.
Maybe.
That's why I'm starting Monday Night Media.
Yeah, you
I
could.
feel like I can put together great podcast content.
yeah.
That's not my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like you could probably do the same thing for others. You could edit theirs. It doesn't need to be a vlog, but I mean, I guess you kind of tried to already get into making videos for others, but I'm saying like maybe someone from outside of LA would be like, "Hey, I make a video every Thursday and I would love for you to edit it so it could drop on Mondays."
Yeah, if I had the time that's what I learned. This is what I learned about this, Eric. I have to enjoy what I'm doing. If I get, like, I've had clients, I'm just like, I cannot do this. This is not fun to me. It's taking the fun out of it. So if it's a project that I see that isn't exciting and fun, yeah, of course, I'd love to do that. But I have to my heart has to be into it.
You can't make it feel like a job, because you already have a
Yeah.
job. You don't need a second job.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I think Erica and I said, when this feels like a job, we won't do it anymore. And it's become a lot of work, but it's become very enjoyable work.
You guys, the fun really comes through on the radio. I was going to say on the speaker. It
I'm
comes
Well,
through.
so
speaking
happy
of that,
Mhm.
we made it in one of your YouTube videos.
Oh yeah.
I think you
'Cause
told me about
I love your announcement. I love how you announce the things. I got to have that part of the YouTube
How
video.
fun.
He does a great job with, like, I guess you call it B-roll or something. So he might start with like, "Hey everybody, what's up? It's Tuesday. We're going to the run club. Come with me on the drive." And then he like turns the car on and then the radio's playing. It's like, "What's up everybody? And welcome to episode 45 of the On the Runs podcast." And we made it
I
into his
remember
video.
That.
Yeah.
Yes. It was so cool.
Yeah,
It was so
thank
cool.
you.
Well, because you're a listener of the pod, you know what's coming next. You know
Mhm.
about my Code Brown commandment list. So without
Oh,
me
yeah.
having to go through the whole spiel, tell us, what do you have to add to our Code Brown commandments for someone to avoid an oh crap moment? And it could be running, it could be YouTubing, it could be editing, could be anything.
Oh, it's running, definitely.
All right, let's get it.
Don't miss bag check.
Is there a story behind this one?
Oh, yeah. So for one of our, say like 2020, right? Days before the pandemic shut everything down. LA Marathon's going on. And for the first time, my wife and I had a hotel room miles from Dodger Stadium to start the LA Marathon. Normally we come from Lancaster, which is like an hour and a half drive to get down there. But we said, hey, we finally got a hotel room. Let's do it. The Uber driver did not know where he was going, was not expecting the traffic that comes with the marathon, got us there late. And we had our 2 bags, and we both had all of our clothes or Vans in there, or change into. And we got there late. And I said, well, and I knew we have a cheer booth back then at mile 18. Now it's at mile 20, but back then it was at mile 18 or something. And I said, no, I'm sorry, mile 13.
Oh.
He was mile 13 back then. So I said, if I could just run 13 miles with these bags, and I can just drop them off to the volunteers. So I'm running 13 miles through the LA Marathon with these bags, and have you seen plastic bags? They rip, they get sweaty, they're slipping out of my hands.
Oh, no.
And oh gosh. But back then, this was way before I even joined LA Roadrunners and knew anything about hydration or anything. I figure, okay, in my head, I could drop it off and I could just take off because I won't have this extra weight on me. Well, if you know anything about glycogen, that's not the case.
Yep,
I dropped it off
on empty, huh?
I lasted about a mile, and I said, "That's it." I bonked,
and
that was done. But it ended up being one of my most favorite marathons because that was the first race that I actually stopped looking at my watch and just enjoyed the scene.
Okay.
Stopped by cheer booths. I said, I'm just going to have this be a fun race. So that's how that happened. And I had a pickle. I got a massage gun on my leg.
Okay.
These things that never would happen if I was just looking at the clock and trying to race down the street.
There you go.
But yeah, it was a Code Brown commandment, but it had a good ending to it.
Good. I'm glad.
And thou shalt not miss bag check. I love it. Guys, I have breaking news.
I saw your face, so I'm intrigued. What's going on?
I know this is going to drop in November, and it is October 1st right now. But tomorrow at 09:30, I will be going on my first ever helicopter ride.
Cool. Congratulations.
I'm so excited.
I thought it was pod.
I was expecting something like I just got invited to Boston.
Right. I know that was that kind of face though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But no.
Your first helicopter
ride. But that's cool.
Tomorrow,
where's it taking you?
Chopper ride. Tucson Jet Center. It's a 20-minute helicopter ride. We got to be at the place by 09:30. Oh my God, this is so cool.
I'm glad I got Eric's full attention here.
So let me go into a little bit of detail here.
Yeah.
Maybe we talk about this. Maybe I'll edit this out and we talk about it in the tros, but I'm here for the big global sales meeting. We have some fancy cameras that go in helicopters. They're not based out of Boston. They're based out of Portland, Oregon. I'm like, hey, I want to go on a helicopter ride. It's freaking happening. We own a helicopter and a plane. I'm like, I don't want to go on the plane. I want to go on the helicopter. And we're like going to hover over the hotel and like use the camera and scan down, view people in IR and in whatever and watch their terrible golf game or whatever.
That's amazing. Fun.
Yeah, but cool. That's my exciting
hotel,
news.
Like the hotel's going to let you do that?
Yeah, that's where we're at this hotel because it's actually like 20 minutes outside the airport, so we're allowed to do that. The whole point of us being here is because we can fly drones, fly helicopters above the hotel. Gotcha. I mean, the helicopter's a few thousand feet, but we're showing the capabilities of these cameras.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's a big reason for this whole global sales meeting.
Nice.
So it's cool. It's the same camera, the running related here, that found the Boston Marathon bomber.
That's right.
Really?
Yes. So that's our camera, the one that goes on the helicopter. So I'll get to go in the helicopter tomorrow and operate the camera. I am psyched.
Happy
Well,
everyone who's listening right now already knows this because I talked about it probably on the Tros back in October.
Well, make sure you make content about it. If you don't, Eric is going to be on you.
Aha! Yes.
Oh,
well, actually,
is it confidential?
I can't. I can't.
Oh.
I mean, I might be able to take a video or a picture, but I can't like show you the screen or anything or the hand controller. I can just take some video from the helicopter looking down. Sure,
There
I'll
you
do
go.
that.
The fun police.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, the ones that would get me fired.
Yeah.
All right, we got to
But
get
then
back
you really
on
have to have this
track.
podcast work.
Yes.
All right, Anthony, we have our awesome Spotify playlist, and I hope you listen. If you don't, check it out.
Mhm.
But
I don't have Spotify, but I've heard about it.
excellent. But we have
Okay.
this list, and we like to invite our guests to add one song to it. Just one.
Oh, one? Okay. 'cause I
Thank
got
you,
two.
Erica.
Okay.
He really got on me for that the other day. So
Okay.
one song. Is there anything
Oh.
you'd like to add to the list?
I actually wrote down two songs, so I'll choose one.
Well, listen, I want to hear both songs, but she can only add one.
I will let you
Okay, yeah,
choose
just-
which one
Maybe
it
we can
is,
debate the songs.
Okay.
I think you
Let's
should
debate
add,
them.
add the second one. But the first one is this is for if you're like at the end of a marathon, you just want to push it, or if you're on track night, "Killing in the Name of" by
That is a good
by
one.
Rage Against the
Mhm.
Machine.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's the
Good
other
one.
one?
Yeah. Now this one is special. This is not. I don't know if very many people know about this song, but we've all know who Rob Thomas is from Matchbox 20.
Yeah.
He has a song called "Little Wonders,"
I
and it's
don't
actually
think I
attached to a Disney or a Pixar movie
No
or something.
way.
And it's a song about this. Hey, just the past was tough, but just let it go.
Oh,
Don't worry about the past. Just worry about now. Enjoy the moment. And it's like one of those like really slow. It's one of those songs that will get me through a long run. Just like and can remember, hey, I'm in the moment. Just enjoy it. Forget about all the crap that the past has. Let it go.
oh.
So that's what that song's about. So "Little Wonders" by Rob
Well,
Thomas.
we're picking that one because that one's got the story behind it. But even though the other one is
That's
great too, so
That's right. Nice job, Erica. Way to go. Thank you, Anthony, for sticking with one. And I think like if someone has to, we can hear both.
we'll
when
debate.
just one goes
That's good.
on. And we'll debate.
Perfect.
Which one should it be? But I like it. Great job, man. Great job.
I appreciate
Hey,
it.
tell us, where can everybody find you? You're all over the place. You have a website, you have social media, you have YouTube. Tell us, where can everyone find you? What should they do? So go subscribe and click that like button. Where and when and how?
Well, I'm always going to promote YouTube because it's my favorite platform. Running for My Best Life. Same thing on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. And I got the website, runningformybestlife.com. But I really want to head people over to the LA Marathon. If you want to participate in the LA Marathon, I got a discount code. Email me. They don't let us publicize these things because this is what I love about the ambassador program at the LA Marathon. They say you are not your discount code. We do not care how many times you use it. All we care about is that you're part of the community. That's all we care about. So we're not allowed to publicly put out these codes. But if you want a discount code for LA Marathon, which is the 40th anniversary, it's going to be epic.
40th
It's
running.
gonna be amazing.
40th running.
40th running. Oh my God,
I
you got me.
you.
Very good.
I got you.
The
I got you back.
Yeah, the 40th running of the LA Marathon. There might be some surprises because remember the LA Marathon was actually
Maybe Snoop
inspired.
Dogg?
That would be awesome. It was inspired by the '84 Olympics. And that's they said, hey, we need to get a marathon out here. And they started the year after. That's why it's the 40th running and not the 40th anniversary.
Gotcha.
But it's going to be an amazing day. And it's going to sell out. I guarantee it's going to sell. It sold out last year. And so I'd love to have you guys anybody be part of it. Come out to LA. Enjoy those fun hills.
It's talking to you, PodFam.
It's in March.
It's in March. If you want to.
And Anthony has a spare bedroom for Erica.
I got a couch. I got a
That
couch
works.
you can use. But thank you for having me, guys. Thank you for letting me share my story. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for the
Absolutely,
entertainment, for
man.
helping
This
me
is
through my
so
long
cool.
runs.
I'm so happy we connected like almost a year ago and you reached out and
Finally
originally I
happened.
thought, yeah.
Mhm.
And originally I thought you met us through a episode of another LA runner we had at the time, Abby Bandai. And you told me how you really found us was just the algorithm. And
Yeah.
that made me so excited to hear because it's working.
It's working.
Yes.
You guys are doing your thing. I could see that it's going to be amazing. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
already amazing, but keep at it. You guys are over like 150 episodes or something? 140?
Close.
Well, if you count everything, we
Oh,
are
true.
over 150
Yeah.
because we've done like the OTR lives, we've done the extended outro sometimes, but episode numbers are we're in the 130s now. That's where we are with you, Anthony.
You're still a baby. You guys are, On the Runs is still
Yes.
a baby.
Yes.
Don't overthink it. Just do your thing and keep at it. You're doing amazing.
Consistency. Love
Yeah.
it. Every Tuesday, baby.
That's what
Monday Night Media.
It drops every Tuesday. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So people know, like, okay, every Tuesday it pops in there. I can't do Mondays because the weekends are too busy. And then Sunday night comes around and I'm like, I got to edit and I got to get it done. Nope. So we're Monday night. We record on Mondays. I edit on Mondays.
See, you're
it's
human.
perfect.
You're not a machine. You can't do
And
it
with his
all.
children, well, you have like 5 kids you're chasing around. What is that?
3, but the
3
twins
kids.
Like
probably
5.
count as like 4. So,
Amazing.
so
You're doing-
5
you guys
adds
are
up
doing-
there if the twins each count as 2.
That is no joke. And really embrace these years because we got teenagers and it is a whole different ball game, buddy. So
Yeah.
enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I do. So these long extended work trips only happen about once every other year. The rest of them are like only 2-nighters. So this one's 9. Holy
Oh my
cow.
gosh.
Well, 8 nights. 8 nights. So, yep. And as long as I don't get, killed by a wild pig, I'll be good.
What?
Yeah, that's
a
a
wild
story.
pig.
That's a story. You'll hear it if you listen to
Okay.
the outro on Thursday.
Mm.
So in 2 days, listen to the extended outro because the episode that dropped today, October 1st, the first breast cancer episode of the month,
Okay.
we didn't have time to do the entire outro in time. So we did an extended outro. It drops Thursday. Check it out. And those happen on occasion when we just run out of time. So
A teaser. Look at that.
yeah, a
Love
teaser.
it.
Well, everyone listening knows about it, but maybe
me.
there'll be another
Teaser
one.
from me.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yes, teaser for you.
Mhm.
Well, Anthony, it was super fun. I'm super excited we connected. Like, thanks so much for being patient. I know I had to postpone. I know Erica had to postpone. I know you had the tough schedule and we worked around it and we became Tuesday night media tonight and we did it, well, normal time for us, but what I thought was earlier for you because you have to run to your run club right now.
Yeah, I got a couple hours, but I still got client work to do. So,
Ooh.
yeah, but I'm gonna see you guys. I vow this. I'm gonna see you guys at Boston one day. I'm gonna run past your cheer booth.
I
and I'm
really
gonna stop
hope
and
so.
Take a
We would
selfie.
love to.
You
And I'm gonna qualify
Jen
for it. I'm
both.
gonna get that 3:15 qualifying time.
Go do it.
You and Jen
3:15.
both.
That would be great. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks so much. Thanks for welcome to the PodFam. That's going to be something I start
Yay.
saying too. Welcome to the PodFam, Anthony.
I'm honored
thanks
to
so
be
much,
here.
guys. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. What a story from Anthony, from childhood to one shot to running and being involved in community and everything. That was wicked awesome. Anthony Bailey on the On the Runs podcast. Thank you, Anthony, for coming on the podcast, man. That was so cool. I really enjoyed our conversation, getting to know you, hearing your story, but also talking a lot about your YouTube channel and everything you're doing with the LA Roadrunners, how much you love the LA Marathon. I know that was a long time coming. We multiple scheduling or rescheduling, and then we did it on a random Tuesday. And you waited weeks to hear your episode, and then you waited 40 minutes through the intro to hear your segment here on the pod. But thanks, man. Tara, what did you think of Anthony's episode?
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Like you said prior, I never heard of Anthony, so it was great. I love, this one. The great things about this podcast is I get to meet new people virtually, and sometimes they become real life friends. So maybe I will get to meet Anthony in person sometime.
So the joke there was, I asked you what you thought of the episode, but she actually hasn't listened yet because it's Monday. But what is actually cool, Tara, you did a good job rolling with that. But what's really cool though is he lives in LA, and you and Erica, what do you want to do in 4 years?
Oh, right. We're going to go to the Olympics, and maybe if they have a pre-Olympic marathon, Eric and I are going to get some bibs.
Yeah, and I kind of offered unofficially on that episode with Anthony, like Anthony probably has a spare room or a couch or a floor that you two could crash on because hotels then will be a lot of money. So you're going to like Anthony. Yeah, Anthony was super cool.
Anthony, pretty please. I don't snore.
Erica might though. We'll put her in the closet and we'll give Tara the couch.
Perfect.
We talked a lot about that race, the 777. We're not going back there. We'll talk more later, but I do want to mention one funny story. This is kind of like a behind the scenes story. So everyone's on the group chat, and I noticed friends of the pod in the group chat. 2 of them, Janine Vernon and Josh Vernon. And here, the funny thing was, Ben was reading Josh's comments a couple of times, and he would go, Verona on a bike, and then Verona on a bike. And he wasn't reading it as Vern on a bike. And so I was kind of giving Josh a hard time. And then later the next day, he spelled it out with capital letters for Vern on a bike. And I was like, look at you go, man. Look at you go. And he's throwing in, he's donating. He's doing subscriptions. I think he's gifting subscriptions. You can gift me one, buddy. But he's also giving fueling advice. And that I want to bring this up because he told me when he listened to last week's episode, and I don't know, maybe you did too, but he was cringing about my fueling strategy, which was non-existent. And then other people have reached out saying, I want to help you with your fueling. Were you cringing at my fueling where I was just like non-existent fueling?
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. Like, and you know what? I feel like everybody learns the hard way. So maybe that was a little lesson for you. And, maybe you didn't feel like complete garbage, but you would be surprised how much better you feel if you continuously fuel while you're running. And then it's also with the hydration too. It's don't drink when you're thirsty because it's too late. So you have to continue taking, you got to take water in and you got to take in fuel. And I think I have mine nailed down, and I even have my watch every 40 minutes. It goes off and I take something in. And then sometimes even in between, I'll take a salt tab. But that's my thing. I do 40 minutes and then I never run. Like I can run fasted for up to like 5 miles. But after that, I have to fuel or else I bonk.
How do you learn? Do you have a nutrition coach? Did you learn by trial and error? Did you Google it? What do you do?
Yeah, so I kind of Googled. I don't have a coach. I've never had a running coach. But I, knock on wood, I have like a super solid stomach. So I've literally tried every type of fuel and they all work fine. It was just for me taste. And I will say packaging. I tried a couple that I could not get open, or they were like super big. And if you're running a marathon, you have 2 pockets and it's like, okay, I got to carry 6 or 7 of these gels with me. So like the ones that are massive, I'm like, I'm not taking these. So I just read somewhere that it was like you should be fueling, and I know that some people break it down to carbs and calories and all that stuff. Like, I don't go that far.
Lots of runner's math I can't deal. Maybe I could do what you do with the watch to remind me, because I just kind of did off of miles, like every 3.5 to 4 miles. But then I just lost track. I'm like, when was the last time I did it? I need something. And it was just fun. A few people, Jared offered me to become my nutrition coach the next time I do a marathon. And I'm going to take him up on that. And we've had other nutrition coaches on. I want to talk to them about how you plan that with your athlete. So last week we put a poll up. What was our poll question? Do you remember?
The poll question was, how many marathons has Eric run, right?
I forgot. So that was, okay. So the poll question last week was, I've run 2 marathons and I've also done an Ironman. Does the Ironman marathon count? What was your answer, Tara?
So, okay, I have 2 parts to this. So I did answer yes, but if I were you, when telling people, I would say I've run 2 marathons and an Ironman. I wouldn't say I've run 3 marathons. One of them was an Ironman. I would say 2 marathons and also an Ironman.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It was about a 70-30 response. About 70 said yes, it counts. 30 says no, it doesn't. I'm kind of in the no, it doesn't count category, because I kind of put the Ironman in a separate thing. Like the time's totally off, but I totally get, like, a lot of people are like, yes, you did it. They're like the supportive kind of people. Like Scott Black actually said yes. And that was a surprise. You know who said no actually was Patrick Lieber. And he had a reason for that. I'm not going to go back and look now, but it was about a 70-30 mix. I thought maybe it would have been more in the yes category, maybe like 90-10. So more people were where I was, I think, saying it doesn't count. And I think I'm going to stick with your theory. I've done 2 marathons, but I also done an Ironman. Yeah. And I'm going to do more.
On paper, yeah, it's 26.2. So you've done 3, but it's also, like I ran my first ultra, but I wouldn't count that towards a marathon. Like I've run 3 marathons and I've done 1 ultra.
Yeah. You just made me think about it though. Patrick said if it counted, then Erica's marathon in 2 states would count. That's what he said.
Oh.
But gotcha. So you're not counting your ultra marathon. You are not counting as a marathon.
No.
I agree with that, because you're running much more than 26.2. You're not stopping at 26.2.
Right. But so technically it's a marathon.
Does that mean in your head, when Erica does an ultra marathon in, say, Oregon, she still has to go back for a marathon?
Oh, no. Yes.
Yes.
I don't
No?
think so. You have to do at least 26.2. So I'm
Okay.
trying to do half marathon in all 50 states. And where I've run New York City Marathon and Boston, I'm counting those because I did at least 13.1. So I got Massachusetts and New York.
Okay. So the question, though, we were just chatting about this, and Erica is going to be in on this later when she listens. But one of our goals for 2025 is to have an engagement part of the episode, a question that we'll drop in our story or in reels. And I think we came up with this week's question. It's about fueling. So when you run a marathon, do you have a nutrition plan? Do you have a fueling plan? Do you set your watch to something? Or do you just wing it like I did and try to like time it every 40 minutes or so, and then runner's math just messes with your head and you don't do good, or maybe you do great. Do you wing it or do you have a plan? What do you do, Eric? Erica, what do you do, pterodactyl?
I have a plan. I'd like to call it a plan. I never would ever not. I would not show up with nothing. I think that's just setting yourself up for failure. But it's a plan.
Well, that's
my plan.
I like it. It's a plan. It counts. So you'd be in the plan category. So that's this week's question, guys. Look for it in the story. Look for it in the feed. When you run a marathon, do you have a nutrition plan, or you just wing it, baby, like me? So I need to get a plan, though. That's for sure. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I had so much fun talking 777 with you, coming up with that question. Anthony's episode was great. Tara, what do you got on deck for this coming? It's almost December. It's almost Thanksgiving. What do you got coming on besides golf?
Yeah, I got a turkey trot. Are you doing a turkey trot?
Are you doing the Manchester one?
Yeah, the Fisher Cats.
That's
the
my
Millennium
plan.
Running.
That's
oh,
my
cool.
plan. Haven't
Our buddy
officially-
Jamie's going to be there.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
Adeline's going to run it with me.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
That's
cool.
what I'm trying to get her to run it with me. So we'll be in the back, but it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so I can really officially meet Jamie. Yes. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get, and you know
So
me,
we're
I'll
gonna
be
do
there
that.
early. So if you get there early, yeah,
What
I'm
time
doing
does
that.
it
And then I'm
start?
running. Oh, I think it's 9, maybe 9:30.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then
Yeah.
I'm
that's
running
lunchtime for you.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll be up. I don't know. But I'm also running the Ugly Sweater 4-miler Tito's Ugly Sweater 4-miler. It's at
Yep.
Backyard Brewery. It's for there's 3 different animal shelters that it's benefiting. But I'm taking a break from long distance. Just
Okay.
gonna
Well, I
run
don't
the
think
fun
I am.
ones.
I think I have an announcement to make.
Oh.
Unofficially, I'm committing to the Jingle Bell Half.
Ooh.
So I just got to figure out like the small logistics of it. But I think I'm going to do that half. Get a little, end the year on a high note instead of the low note from last week.
I love that. The gamma phobia has nothing on you.
No, yeah. I kind of, when I heard, like, it kind of works out. I just had to get coverage for the boys. It's a half marathon. It's not a full day. And Erica's going to be there. I think Rachel's going to be there. Hopefully some other PodFam is going to be there. So I've unofficially committing. I've not signed up. I'll probably sign up the week of when I know everything is kosher.
Okay, so one question for you. What is your half marathon PR?
Oh, I think it's a 1:43, which I'm not going to hit, but I'll definitely be like a sub 2 hours, maybe like a
Okay.
1:53.
I was just
I don't
asking
know what the
because
course is like.
you were saying that you were in perfect half marathon shape, and last week you probably should have maybe just done the half. So I didn't know if maybe we were going for like a super scary goal or what your
No
plan
goals,
was.
just fun and end on a high
Love
note.
that.
I ran a 2:04 for my halftime last week in Manchester, and like I think I could have been at 1:50 if it was just the half.
Yeah. So you know what you can do? You can have fun and you can take content
I'll take
while you're
content.
running.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And thank you for doing all the TikTok content. I don't even go on, so I don't. Occasionally, I do when you like say you got to see this, and it's somebody else's, and I'll be like, oh, there's Pterodactyl's post, and I love it. So thank you
Yeah,
for taking over that.
Having some fun with it. I need to do more with it, which I will do. That's my 2025 resolution for the pod.
Yes, look at that. You got a resolution for the pod. We just got to figure out what Erica's is. We need to let her figure it out. We're not force it. No more homework assignments. She just needs to do what she wants to do. But yeah, this
She'll
was
figure it
fun.
out. Yeah.
Thank you so much for subbing in, coming off the bench for Erica, who's sick. Apparently, the key to life isn't something she wanted to try to make herself feel better, but she'll be back next week. We actually have I had to postpone our recording tonight because she was not like, that's how bad she was feeling. She's been feeling bad. Actually, it's been a full week now. So she needs to figure it out and get better.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Sore throat, nasally, not cute, but we're battling through it.
Well, guys, keep following the Great World Race, the 777. 2 more races. Justin, you can do this, man. Bex Gentry, Ashley Polson, everybody else doing this race. The Fab Five, great job. I love it. Ben, thank you for all the content. I know none of them are listening. I'm just, yabbering away. This was a blast, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media platforms. Join our Patreon page if you love us that much. We have a new Patreon that we're going to pump the tires for next week when Erica's back. And I think Erica has some big breaking news that she's going to drop on the pod next week. You're going to have to hear it first from her. Tara, thank you so much. This was great. Take us home, Tara Pterodactyl.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening. And Eric, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Tara. Guys, don't fear the code brown.
And don't forget to stretch.
3, 2, 1.
You know what I need to do? I need to stop saying thank you all the time. But I realize that, I cringe when I edit. I audit myself. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Tara. This was great. I'm going to edit all that out.
Do you want me to do the normal Erica?
Yeah.